Aussie program, the home of Good Vibes Filipinas, with Happy Melvin Mata, and Yoyo Mensah, imparting positivity, playing open music while serving the community. Good Vibes Filipinas. Boom!
Keep it locked on the station with better music and more variety. 979 FM.
Become a member or subscriber of 979 FM today by phoning 9747 0450 during business hours or phone 9747 8500 after hours. Support 979 FM today.
979 FM.
MLV Group are in the business of providing financial security and happiness to all Filipino migrants in Australia by providing a one-stop shop for all their financial, business, and social needs. Sponsor of 97.9 FM.
Hey, don't stop the music! Say the magic words. 979 FM. The little station with the big sound.
You just said the magic word.
Here comes the music. 979 FM. The home of the West's best stereo.
Do you hear that?
Yep, that's the sound of our happy chickens.
Fat, juicy, tasty happy chickens.
We send all our chickens to Melton Chicken Stock. They're at Asheville, Earls Creek.
That's the shop with the happy chicken on the roof.
Buy some of our happy chickens today.
Phone them on 9068 4869.
Melton Chicken Stock.
Ayun, grabe talaga si Mayora. Oo, sa iyo ba? Buti na lang. Alam mo yun, grabe. Ano pa masabi?
Experts who can
Lozenges,
Auto Service Center assures you best job quality,
Tulad ng ano
value
tayo.
for money, excellent customer service.
Starting from
Sarap ito, masarap. Pinakamasarap na flavor.
Sponsor of 97.9 FM.
Anytime mag-live ka.
Live na.
Oh, we're live! Oh my God! Live ka dyan. Share naman.
979 FM.
Filipino-Aussie, napaka-ano ha? Napaka-active sa atin.
Sino kaya?
Filipino-Aussie sa New Zealand.
Oo, yan.
Bibisitahin ko.
Francis, sama ako. Sama ako.
Active din natin. Ayan. Sabado, umaga sa inyo mga good vibes. Ito po yung Papi Melvin Mata kasama ang aking mga kabarkada at kapatid na sina.
Siyempre, nako, na-miss ko kayo. Ako po ang inyong Mayora Mered Safra. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. At siyempre, narito din si...
Hello mga ka-good vibes. Ako po si Bibo Santos, nagsabing basta organic.
Don't panic!
Very happy today guys kasi nakita natin po we have our special guest today.
Yes.
Mga good vibes na nanonood po dyan. So, every time po may question po kayo sa amin. And of course, any request, and kung gusto nyo po pwedeng chikahan. Of course, lahat ng marites po dyan. Pwede po nating pag-usapan po today. So, it's the first time again to be together again.
Togetherness, ha?
Ano, 2.5 years?
Yes,
no?
that's it. Because of COVID.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yes, indeed. Yan.
So, Pat, bigyan niyo po ng magandang shoutout po yung mga nanonood sa
Yan!
amin dyan.
Magandang shoutout sa aking magandang asawa. Ngayon ay nanonood, nagbabantay. Giselle Nico Sandigan Buena is watching. How are you guys? Salamat sa panonood.
Yes.
And also, ang kami ay live simultaneously sa Facebook, sa YouTube, at sa Twitter live streams po namin. And also sa pigitan ninyo mga radyo kung kayo ay nasa inyong mga sasakyan, 97.9 sa inyong pigitan ng inyong mga radyo. Ayan. Mayora, kumusta ka, Mayora?
Nako, na-miss ko kayo sobra. Sobrang na-miss ko kayo kasi ang tagal natin hindi nagkita. And then, syempre, parang kanina pagdating ko sa studio, parang, ay, napaka serene.
Yeah.
Oo, pero nung kumpleto na tayo, wala na. Chaos na ulit. Chaos na ulit.
Boom!
It's so good to be back, and then, hopefully, tuloy-tuloy na talaga ito, no?
Yes. I'm very happy din na mga ka-good vibers na lahat po nang nangyari po ngayon is we done our part po being, sabihin natin, itong pandemic is nalagpasan na natin just in case kasi even though nakita natin is andyan pa din si COVID, but the thing is, we done our part, nakita natin na normal ang buhay natin, kumbaga wala na lockdown, tapos nakakapunta na tayo sa mga gusto natin puntahan. And of course, lahat po ng mga Pinoy dyan, ng mga friends din natin, nakita natin nasa galaan sila ngayon.
Ay, syempre.
Pupunta sila overseas, pupunta sila sa mga kamag-anak nila na matagal nilang hindi nakita. So I'm very happy na congratulations sa atin na we've done our part na normal na ulit ang buhay natin.
Tama.
Boom.
We're living with COVID na.
Yeah.
At mamarites ko kayo dyan sa mga
meron
dalawa.
yung exciting yan.
Ayan. A big shoutout sa Pinoy Marites and
Mga marites dyan.
Yan, mamarites ko kayo dyan sa galaan na yan, ha? Balita ko, yung Good Vibes Pilipinas, bus kung magpadala ng ng mga nag-i-enjoy sa snow. Ngayong araw meron, di ba?
Meron, pinatid ko pa sila. Siya nga pala, speaking of that, di ba, kasi meron kang mga relatives doon, hindi nila kilala. Sabi ko, kilala niyo ba si Mayora?
Oo.
Sabi ko, sino pong, nako, ito kilalanin niyo kasi siya talaga, dapat nandito siya ngayon. But the problem is, meron nga kaming
special guest today.
Makikilala niyo yan. Ayan po. Ayan, batiin ko, nasa bus ngayon ng papuntang Buller. Si Nerlisa Zafra, Nerio Zafra, Eliza Zafra, Nicole Zafra, Nina Norin Zafra, Johan Neri Zafra, pupuntahan ka namin.
Aba, isang barangay ng Zafra, yan mga kamag-anak ko yan.
Grabe yan, ang ating magiging. Pagsabi lang po kayo, libre po kami pumunta kahit lunch or dinner.
Boom! And of course, nanonood po sa atin ngayon, fresh from the USA, di ba?
Ay,
Si Genesis.
Genesis
and
Joy.
Papa Genesis!
Of course, kay Ate Weng. Yan, boom!
Siya nga pala Malabang hinihintay natin ating magandang guest, ang ating napakagaling na MP ng Melton. Siyempre, kailangan muna natin, kumbaga, kung ano yung programang ginagawa natin, yun muna natin gagawin. Diba? Konting balita, konting music. But siyempre, chikahan.
Yes.
Mas gusto ko muna yung chikahan kasi yung music, madali lang, pwede natin. Pero importante ka sa amin, ang tagal namin hindi nagkasamang tatlo dito sa station. Because of COVID. But eventually, because of that, syempre marami din kami nagawa sa labas ng studio. Diba? Binabati ko syempre si Mayora sa kanyang pagiging inductee.
And same to you, Papi.
Congratulations.
Sa VMC, Victorian Multicultural Commissions. Kasama po namin dito ang dalawa pang magigiting na Pinoy at Pinay ng multicultural community Filipino.
Yes, syempre si Kuya Ben and Ate Shirley.
And also, gusto ko rin i-congratulate si Ate Marisa Vidar for also being inducted and nominated and awardee as well sa kanyang Best Women.
Yes.
Best Women of the Year.
Congratulations.
Ang dami-daming nangyari during the COVID time. And I think, although for many people na, of course, for a lot of us, it's a very challenging time. To be honest, kasi ako, for myself, alam naman ninyo that I am working in an education sector. And during the COVID time, because of the border closing, wala kaming mga international students. And so, you know that universities, TAFE, ELICOS, talagang lahat tayo sa education sector nagsuffer. And dumating din yung time na, of course, we have to take less work. And so, siguro, of course, it's very difficult, no? Pero I took that opportunity to use my time wisely. And because of that, I had more time to focus on Tagalog learning. And that paves a way for me to get to understand yung mga struggles ng ating mga kabataan during the COVID time na miss na yung mga friends nila. Bigla silang na-transition from, face-to-face learning to online learning. So, ang daming nangyari. But again, I think it's a very important aspect na we found time para to understand more kung ano yung needs ng community natin.
Beforehand, gusto kong batiin ang ating tito ng Filipino community, Tito Fernan Santos, at ang kanyang napakasipag ng may bahay. Si Tita Taiga Dino Santos.
Yes.
Hello po.
Kapangalan ng aking daddy, Fernando Santos.
Oy, happy birthday pala!
Hoy, syempre, happy birthday to my daddy! Daddy Peck Safra, I love you, Papa. See you soon.
Yes, and before anything else, I would like to give a good shout out to Mark, ang ating napakagaling na techie. So, a big shout out to you, bro.
Pasok ka dito, Mark.
Pagbibigay sa amin ng magandang live. Kamustahin niyo po.
Kaway!
Ang ganda ng equipment natin. Saan ka pa? O siya nga pala gusto batiin ng happy anniversary ang mag-asawang Raf and also ano nga pala yung Mrs. Serrano.
Yes,
si Mrs. Serrano kasi si Raf ay isa sa Filipino photographers of Australia. Yan, masyadong devoted din sa Filipino community. Ito yung mga taong ini-involve natin. Ang kagandahan po ng Good Vibes Pilipinas, marami po tayong namimit na mga tao ngayon lang na gustong sumali sa amin kung paano. Kuya, paano ba sumali sa inyo? Paano ba mag-serve sa community? And that's the greatest. We need to teach people how to serve. Hindi yung inaano mo lang sila, yung sasabihan mo pa, di ba? Ano yung sinasabi mo? You're so infantile. What? Kung sino ka man, ha? Huwag ka nang infantile. Kung sino ka man, alam mo kung sino ka.
Sino yun?
Dahil sa aking bubuwit. Ayon sa aking bubuwit, ayoko nang pasabihin yan. I remain anonymous.
And of course, I would like also to give a good shout out po kay one of the best sinasabi nating server sa Coffee Club,
Uy!
Woodgrove.
Oh, I
Nathan.
love Coffee
Nathan.
Club!
Big shout
Hi,
out to you.
Nathan!
I met him last night, and then I gave, of course, the Good Vibes card.
Oh,
And then
beautiful.
he told us that he will follow Good Vibes Pilipinas.
Yes,
Ah,
yun
thank you.
Good job, Nathan. Big shout out to you.
Also, at
Ay,
may isa pang
sandali.
birthday.
Oh, sino?
Si Ate Marisa Trillado. Belated happy birthday,
Hi,
nanay.
Marisa! Happy
Marisa.
birthday!
Umuubos ang aming oras sa pa-birthday. Okay.
Of course, a big shout out din kay Ate Sok. Advance happy
Ayan,
birthday.
advance happy birthday, Ate Sok.
Ate Sok, happy birthday. Alam mo, meron pa ako isang marites. This is a very good win for our community. Alam mo ba, di ba naimbitahan tayo sa konsulado nung mga nakaraang linggo,
Yeah.
ano? And this is very interesting, Bibo, kasi alam mo, nagkaroon na tayo ng partnership the Philippines with La Trobe University.
Wow!
Yes!
Yay!
Para sa Philippine Studies. So congratulations! This is a big win for all our academic Filipinos and as well as for us and La Trobe University in Australia kasi magkakaroon tayo ng cultural exchange,
Yes.
diba?
Lalo
Tapos,
pag intellectual.
exactly, intellectual and cultural exchange. So this is a very, very good win. And congratulations to Melbourne CPG kasi they really work hard for this. So, Conjen Odette, congratulations to you and your team.
Congratulations.
Importante talaga.
Oo, nakakatuwa, no? Ang daming nangyari.
Yes.
Ang daming nangyari sa ating community. And it's really,
A lot of
really
good vibes sa
Yes.
event.
Ayaw natin isipin mo, ang dami nating masamang kumbaga mga news nung COVID. Pero ngayon napapalitan na. We were evolving kasi. Diba? Kumbaga nag-evolve na tayo, natatanggap na natin yung pagpapaubayan ng mga panahon yun.
Yes.
So,
pagpapaubayan.
marami ding mga, syempre, marami ding mga relasyon na nasira ng COVID na yun. Diba? Especially nung mga panahon ng COVID, masyadong long distance.
LDR.
Yan, so, pasensya na kayo, ganun talaga. Talagang tinitest ang inyong yung inyong mga relationships, kung hanggang saan. Sasabihin ng iba, LDR lang pala, ayaw nyo na. So, at least, nalaman nyo na, hindi pa kayo para pala sa isa't isa.
Ay,
Diba?
ganun
Yung ganun.
Oo. So, kailangan mo palang magpaubaya pag mga ganyan.
Ay, ang dami. Kahit yung kumanta mismo nagpaubaya.
Oo nga. Nagpaubaya mismo.
Kaya, ang nakakalungkot lang din, siyempre sinabi ko sa ating kanina, sa ating mga passengers ng bus papuntang Buller. Pasensya na kayo, hindi nyo ako kasama.
Okay.
Kasi kung kasama nyo ako, yung mga mata nyo dilat yan buong umaga. Kasi lang, isa-isahin ko kayo yung mga love story nyo, ilalive ko yan. Ganon ang ginagawa ko talaga.
Ibang level pala.
Kaya yung mga buses natin na, siguro ang dami na, 20 buses. All in all, yung ating na-dispatch because of Good Vibes Pilipinas sa puntang Buller.
Yeah.
Tuwan-tuwa naman sila because of the approach na ginagawa namin, lalo pag andyan si Angelito.
Yeah.
Yan. Binabara-bara namin si Angelito minsan-minsan, di ba? So, para kaming comedy, comedy club.
Stand-up comedy.
Hindi lang try, pero
Nasa clowns.
Ibang level.
kahit paano. Tuwan-tuwa naman sila. They said they appreciate kung ano yung ginagawa ng Good Vibes Pilipinas sa atin.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, siya nga pala, meron kaming surprise gift from 97.9 FM. Hindi pa namin pwedeng i-disclose.
Sikreto pa.
Ito, kasi syempre, kumbaga, fans nila yan. So, binibigay lang sa amin. So, papunta na naman tayo doon sa mga fans.
Yes, mga fans.
Oy, Bibo!
Yes, Pops.
Ano nga pala yung yung pinag-post mo na, anong tawag doon, yung parang athlete, parang meron kayong mga intramurals para sa mga teachers?
Yes, ginagawa na yun sa Olympic ng mga educators. So, sa Geelong. So, we're doing a lot of things, especially nga sa education sector kasi medyo masalimutan nangyayari so far kasi most of the time is understaffed.
Yes.
So, one of the best things to do is to keep them growing, to keep them active.
Yes.
And of course, sa education sector, of course, sa lahat po ng Pinoy na sinasabi nating mga, yun, sa Ate Mayora, sa sila na they giving us a good edge, especially sa ating mga Pilipino na tinataas natin ng bandila dahil karamihan ng mga guro dito sa Australia ng mga Pinoy is they excel talaga.
Yes.
So I'm very happy to be a good shout out to my lovely wife Marianne. So she's sleeping right now. Napahalo ko kanina. So a big shout out din sa lahat po ng students and parents po ng Learners Hub. A big shout out to you guys. Thank you very much po. God bless.
Ayan. Okay, sandali. Basahin muna natin yung mga messages sa atin.
Okay,
sa
sige.
Facebook. Okay, so good morning from Agoy sa Cueza. Hello!
Nasa US of A siya ngayon.
And of course, good morning, Nok. Ako naman, shout out. Okay, from Giselle Nicole Sandigan Buena. Hello sa inyo dyan.
Joey Garcia's watching.
Yan, Papa Joey, nasa Burnsdale siya ngayon. Nasa Dolly Del Patro Seglis is watching as well. How are you, Dolly? Yan, siguro mga nasa bato ka marinisod ng mga Bicolan. And time check, 7:06 in the morning. Ayan, ang bilis. Okay. Sige, magpatuloy tayo after this. Patalastas.
With a big sound.
Just play it loud, okay?
Alan Miranda, immigration lawyers, professional extensive experiences, knowledge of Australian immigration laws and procedures to ensure you get into the right path at the time of Australian visa application. You thoroughly analyze and evaluate circumstances of our clients and always look for the best valuable approach. Hence, why wait? Avail now and say yes to our service, which will open the doors for your future. Concert 97.9 FM.
Need that special promotion? Then why not book 979 FM's outside broadcast bus today? To find out how, contact 979 FM's sponsorship coordinator on 9747 0450 or email advertise@979fm.com.au. 979 FM, serving the community.
This is 979 FM.
This is your 97.9 FM Filipino-Australian program. Good vibes, Pilipinas! Boom!
Ayun! Ang galing natin, ha? At siya nga pala, it's already, it's 11 degrees Celsius sa labas, kaya pala nalalamig ako. Si Mrs. nasa trabaho kanina, kaya pala nalalamig ako. Wala mo, hindi ako makatulog. Sabi ko, hindi ako sanay na mga ganun. Oo, hindi ako nakatulog talaga. Paputol-putol, 30 minutes, nasa trabaho. Hindi ako sanay talaga, kahit siya, sinasabayan ko matulog sa umaga kasi hindi talaga makatulog. Pero mamaya-maya, meron tayong balita from the Philippine Times. So, because Philippine Times is a friend ng Good Vibes Pilipinas. So, kailangan nating magbigay-pugay sa kanilang mga sa kanilang mga reports. And good news to, ha?
Sige.
Mayora, Bibo. Sa lahat ng mga dito sa Filipino, dito sa Melbourne, especially dito sa Australia, bumisita po ang Philippine Times sa ating premier na si Dan Andrews.
Papa Dan.
So, basahin ko lang itong balita.
Sige.
Okay, maano lang to. Okay, this is a article from philippinetimes.com.au by Philippine Times, 19 of August 2022. Premier Andrews recognizes the Philippine Times as the Filipino community's trusted voice. The Philippine Times is the longest-running Philippine newspaper in Victoria in the span of 31 years of existence. The paper has had the opportunity to be an audience amongst other media organizations to cover high-ranking Philippine officials on state visits, government officials, luminaries, and outstanding Filipino achievers. But in July, we received an invitation to have an audience with Victoria Premier Daniel Andrews MP at the Waterman Business Center in Chatsung. It was an opportunity we couldn't miss and for which our team prepared extensively. The Philippine Times recently became the first multicultural newspaper to meet exclusively with the Premier Victoria, and he is the first Premier to meet with the Philippine Times in our more than 3 decades of history. He was given an insight into the evolution of the Philippine Times by publishers Alice Nicolas and George Gregorio, while Jason Cordy spoke about the recent challenges experienced by multicultural print media due to pandemic. And to add on, after the exchange of pleasantries, an extensive interview that we conducted with the Premier Andrews, he said he thanked the Philippine Times for the contribution to the community. And he said, you have, quote unquote, as a trusted voice as a much very respected voice in the community. You've been able to help us get the message out and help people stick together, help people look out for each other and stay safe, and to play a part in everyone staying safe. Because less cases means less pressure on our hospitals, means less pressures on our nurses. Getting vaccinated, listen to science, not getting into some of those conspiracy theories and down those rabbit holes, and trusted the voices, those incredibly important, so that we are genuinely grateful to you. Close the quote. COVID, another open quote. COVID reinforced for us just how important that trusted voice is, just how effective multicultural media can be in getting positive messages out there. It's not just in times of great stress and challenges. It'd be much more positive than that as well. Quote unquote, he added. The Philippine Times gave the Premier great insight into Victoria's growing Filipino community. He extended his deep gratitude to the community for their contributions. We're humbled by the example of the Filipino Victorian community sets. That sense of family, sense of connection, sense of community, hard work, always striving for excellence, always achieving, always giving back. It's a community that can be proud of its contribution to multiculturalism and to the prosperity and the success of our state. And for you to be their voice, that does you great credit as well, he said. And that's an article from Philippine Times dated 19 of August 2022. Ayan, good news yan mga besties.
I know.
Diba? Isipin mo, nare-recognize na ng Premier ang Filipino community. Dati, di ba? Kasi, alam niyo pagkakaiba nun, Mayora, Bibo. Pumunta tayo dito minsan, siyempre more on family, more on family concerns, magtrabaho, mag-aral, tapos tulungan ng pamilya. Wala tayong concern sa community. Yun din ang ginagawa ng mga matatandang leaders natin, yung ating mga elders. Wala sila, more on Filipino community, pero hindi sila lumalabas doon sa mainstream multicultural. And that starts with nagkakaroon na nga tayo ng mga bagong awardees and maraming samples na yung talagang nag-effort lang noon ang nare-recognize. Ngayon, nakikita na pati yung mga unsung na sinasabi, yung mga hindi nababalita, nakikita na din ng Victorian government.
And recently lang, there are a lot of training, like Victorian Multicultural Women's Leadership Training, community engagement training. And I was one of the participants for that. And I saw during that training na napakarami ng mga Filipinos na nag-a-attend ng, Victorian Multicultural Training. Which is good. Kasi before talaga, parang ako lang, or dalawang tao, tatlong tao. Ngayon talagang marami na. So it's really good na yung community engagement talaga natin with the wider multicultural community is there and it's progressive. So yeah, well done. It's really good. Yeah. Very active na tayo ngayon.
Especially ngayon na meron na namang nabalitaan na VMC Multicultural Awards.
Yes.
Ako meron akong nominate because I deserve those Filipinos na talagang ayaw nilang lumabas, pero nakikita mo yung impact nila eh.
Yeah, they're working
so
hard.
I've nominated the 2 associations and 1 person, individual, na talagang andyan. They innovate talaga yung yung strategies nila para sa multicultural community.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm also appealing, there are a lot of people listening to us this morning, in the wider Melton community, which is also our, multicultural community. So if you know anyone from our community who's really working hard towards the common good, well, I encourage you to nominate them. Nominate these people, nominate these organizations because, it's about time that we appreciate them really, diba? And it's not just about the acknowledgement of their work. It's really about motivating other people to join us, become more engaged in our communities. So please do nominate. Go to the Victorian Multicultural website. Yan!
And of course, nandito po ang Good Vibes Pilipinas po. Just in case po na meron po kayong gustong i-nominate po, sabihin niyo lang po sa amin sa Good Vibes Pilipinas kasi kami po yung magsisilbing channel po.
Yes.
Po namin sa ating
magbibigay kami ng support. Talaga, ng letter of support sa taong ito na ito ay nag-collaborate sa Good Vibes Pilipinas. And nakita namin yung impact. Ano ibig sabihin ng impact? Yung kumbaga, yung nagawa nila sa community.
Yes.
Diba? Meron tayong dito, meron tayong pa-shoutout. Sabi ni John Paolo Morante, good morning po, Good Vibes Pilipinas. Pa-shoutout po, watching live from Calamba, Laguna.
Wow!
Masarap ang buko pa dyan.
Yung bibibo.
Let's...
Hindi. Yung dyan, yung lambanog.
Yun,
lambanog. Calamba, Laguna.
And of course, speaking of Good Vibes Pops, update natin sila pa lahat po ng listeners saka followers natin yung mga future plans na ng Good Vibes Pilipinas.
Siya nga pala, kami ay we will collaborate with the Sports Commission. There is something going on in sports at the moment. So hindi po namin sosolohin yan kasi hindi po kakayanin ng Good Vibes Pilipinas magsolo. We are into collaboration para lahat matuto. Lahat mag-serve. Hindi po kami kailangan lahat ng credit sa amin. So we really collaborate with positive people and positive associations only. Yun ang sinabi natin. Hindi po kami mag-waste ng time.
Klaro no?
Hindi po kami mag-waste ng aming time para mag-waste ng time, 'di ba? Sa ibang mga associations. Pasensya na po. Talagang hindi po kami may prinsipyo pa ng Vibes Pilipinas. Namimili din po kami na sasamahan namin para makita din ng tao na lahat ng positive vibrations sa ginagawa namin, positive collaboration, positive din yung kakalabasan. Hindi po yung nadadamay kami sa mga anomalya, kasi nga anomalistic na yung asosasyon. Ngayon collaborate na po ang Good Vibes, ay wala po, hindi po pwede yun. So, we also give chance na magbago sila, pero yun nga sinasabi, show their impact. Kung talagang willing din sila. Kasi ang Good Vibes Pilipinas po, we're really into the principle of positive results.
Yes.
Ayaw namin din na pumapalpak kami. Sayang yung effort namin, volunteer na nga lang kami, papalpak pa. Masama sa loob yun.
Yes.
Nakaka-depress, di ba, Mayora?
Oo, diba? Sayang yung effort mo.
Yes, and speaking of effort, a big shoutout po sa lahat po ng musikero po natin.
Yes!
Po sa Tambayan. Of course, sa Tambayan po is meron silang open mic. Every Saturday and Sunday po. And then a big shoutout to Victor. Sa Victor, what's up? Thank you very much, bro, for giving support po sa lahat ng musikero po natin sa buong Australia po. Kasi po, meron po silang mga guests and then they're making also a live. Kaya hindi man talaga si Papa Mark doon. So, talagang inaantay sila doon. So, big shoutout to you guys sa lahat po ng musikero, musicians sa Tambayan, open mic. So, punta po kayo doon.
And it's really good. It's really good, I think, because, it's about time as well that we get to know our Filipino-Aussie musikeros na magagaling naman talaga.
Oo naman, syempre.
World class. Oo, diba? Nakakamiss din, yung mga jamming natin sa studio. Balik natin yan.
Babalik talaga natin yan, Mark. Siya nga pala, magpaplano rin tayo sa Oktoberfest.
Yun.
Wow!
Yan. Papaunahan ko na si Bibo, priority ang yung banda. Okay? Kung busy, sabihin mo lang, hihintay namin. Ayaw namin kumuha muna ng ibang banda. Siyempre, yung ating special na band muna kailangan unahin natin. And then kung talagang walang time, then we are going to look for some bands for our inuman session.
Boom!
Inuman session yan. May inuman talaga yan. So, meron na po kami nahanap na venue. We're just looking for the time, the right time na kapag meeting with the 3 bands. 3 bands po
Grabe, no? Busy-busy ang good vibes. No, one activity after the other, no? Pagkatas ng snow, Oktoberfest, you know?
Meron pa tayo yung trip for going to Great Ocean Road. Bless you, Mayora. So meron tayong pupunta pa ng kasi sabi ng yung ating mga parokyano sa snow, Papi, pwede ba? Meron naman ba sa Great Ocean Road naman?
Aba, may request
pa? Request na, sabi mo. Masyado kayong spoken.
Oo, demanding.
Maganda rin, Pops, di ba yung mga guests tulad namin na kami lang dito sa family mo, yung mga relatives mo na dumarating dito, makikisabay, di ba, sa buller, sa mga natin.
Especially mga first-timers, lalo na ngayon, yung pumunta ngayon, lahat first-timers. Sa wakas, makakahawak na kayo ng snow.
Yes, enjoy the buller.
Sabi ko, again guys, ang snow po puti yan. Pag makakakita po kayo ng snow na yellow, that's something different. Nag-ihi po yan, ha? Hindi po yan vanilla flavor. So baka kala nyo, pineapple o vanilla o banana yan. Wala pong snow na yellow. Ibig sabihin, may nag-ihing lasing dyan. Okay? Paalala po lamang.
Okay, so after the snow, meron tayong Great Ocean Road.
Great Ocean Road.
Maka-enjoy yan. Ay, alam mo, maganda rin yung Yarra Valley wine tasting.
Yun.
Di ba, no? Leader din yun.
Alam mo, meron din tayo dito. Dito sa Bacchus Marsh.
Oo, Bacchus Marsh, malapit.
Mas malapit-lapit, pwede lang ka mag-Uber. Siyempre, pagkatitis natin, ito po tayo sa wala kayo ibang gawin.
Oo, masaya din nga yun.
Magtagay ng red wine. Diba? Magtagay sa basyo. At uminom ng St. Anne's Moscato. Wow!
Bagong
advert!
Lasang blade!
Ano natin yan? Future sponsors. Speaking of future sponsors, Pops, marami silang nag-aantay sa atin ngayon.
Oo, marami. Full blast tayo this coming 2022.
Yes.
Yan.
Sa lahat po ng gusto sumuporta po sa Good Vibes Pilipinas, message nyo lang po kami.
Yes. Maawa na po kayo. Hindi. Kung willing po kayo kahit anong pwede natin pag-usapan na sponsorship, willing pang Good Vibes Pilipinas makipag-collaborate.
Hindi ko mapapansin nila, Papi, Mayora, lahat po ng sponsors natin from the way back then na nag-umpisa pa tayo. MLB, Miranda. Andiyan pa rin sila hanggang ngayon, sumusuporta pa rin po sa Good Vibes Pilipinas.
We are so lucky to have them as our sponsors.
Lalo na yung mga nauna, grabe.
Oo, no?
Diba yun, talagang sabi natin, paano sila nagtiwala sa isang
make or break, no?
Oo, sa isang tatlong tao. Tapos yun ang, di ba?
Diba?
Nalala nyo, Papi, Mayora, nung panggabi pa lang tayo, no? Dito tayo sa studio sa kabila yata.
Oo,
diba?
dito muna tayo.
Dito muna tayo bago naging 3.
Panggabi tayo nun, tingnan mo yung time slot natin nun.
8 to 10 in the evening.
Puyat na.
Oo, iba nun. Panggabi ng lagim nun.
Ano?
Oo, pero
alas 10 na yung energy pa rin no?
Yung guest natin talagang nakaganyan pag natatapos.
Ang sayo pala dito!
Pag natatapos, gumaganyan. Alam, buti na lang naka-headset ako. Pero tingnan nyo, naghihiyawan po kami dito sa ngayon, sa studio ngayon.
Ang sayo pala dito!
Good vibes sila after Correct. So hanggang ngayon, sumusuporta pa rin po sila sa Good Vibes Pilipinas.
Walang sawa.
Thank you very much po.
Kahit anong busy po namin, si Bibo po, sobrang busy. Si Mayora, lalo si Mark, nagsakripisyo pa ngayon, nag-live ngayon para dito lang.
Sinundo pa ako ni Mark!
Sinundo pa. So, siya nga pala, i-plug ko na NLC. Nasa NLC po kami mamaya.
Happy belated happy birthday,
Kung gusto niyo pong mamit ang Good Vibes Pilipinas mamaya, nasa NLC po kami. Alas 10 lang umaga.
Kita-kits po tayo mamaya. At syempre, gusto ko lang magpasalamat sa napakaganda kong t-shirt.
Wow!
Tingnan nyo naman, pink na pink.
Pink yan, ha?
At syempre, ang aking bagong jumper. Oh, ang ganda.
Iba yan, ha?
Thank you.
Ano nga ang brand to? Connors to.
Oo, at saka, excuse me, yung t-shirt, Fruit of the Loom, ha?
Fruit of the Loom yan.
Oo, ibang level, yayamanin na talaga.
Noon, pag may Fruit of the Loom ka,
yayamanin ka, di ba?
Hindi pwedeng yan ang mga ano na hindi pwedeng pawisan.
Correct. Oo. Tapos dapat ang kapartner ng Fruit of the Loom mo, Levi's 501.
Yes.
Diba?
Tapos sabay topsider. Diba?
Oo, 90s kids eh.
Hindi lang po pink ang may kulay niya. Ang kulay namin, we are on the spring, may yellow po
feeling
kami.
ko, maiingit ang mama ko at hihingi siya. At mamaya magme-message na siya ng good vibes ng bikini, men.
Pati ano. Ipakita rin natin yung ating business card.
Wow, tingin nga.
Bago yan. Siyempre, nandyan na si Mark, so hindi na pwede iwan.
Ayan. Ubus na pops yung...
Kunin mo na yung ano.
Kuha na kayo. Kuha na kayo.
Pinamahagi ko sa ating mga feature sponsors.
Uy, ang ganda.
Pakita mo naman, Mark, sa camera ang ating business card.
Uy, meron ba siyang tinatawag na QR code?
Diretso po yan sa aming
na talaga siya.
www.goodvibespilipinas.com.
O, diba? Ang ganda. O, si Melvin Papi, si May Mayora, si Bibo, si George Kuya J, si Mai, Hanash Princess, at si Papa Mar. Diba? Winner. Ang ganda-ganda.
Yan, pwede lang panampal sa mga anonymous. Okay, sige, magtanong muna tayo mga beshi.
Ay, sandali lang. Gusto ko lang ipa-emphasize ito, Good Vibes Pilipinas is a proud member. Tanggalin ko yung salamin ko kasi hindi ako nakakakita pag malapit.
Astigmatism, parehas.
Siyempre, proud member of National Press Club of Australia. At meron kang conference na attendance soon.
September.
Yes, of course. We also member of CBAA.
Yeah, Community Broadcasting Association of Australia.
Yes, of course. And Melbourne Press Club Sociala.
Yeah, social club.
Gusto ko mag-tea doon sa kanilang press club.
Yeah, kakaano lang namin ni kakaano ni Premier Dan Andrews last time.
Wow. Mga ganda na yung mga rubbing elbows, At syempre, meron din tayong Rural Press Club.
Yeah.
So, lahat.
Hindi tayo pwedeng hindi pumasok sa Rural Press Club kasi...
Because we're a community.
Alahatiin ko na to.
Kunin mo na, huwag ka na mahiya.
Ubusin niyo ng tatlo yan kasi tirahan natin si Papa George. Ayan. So sa lahat ng mga dyan, nagpapasalamat po kami lahat sa Good Vibes.
Sa akin na itong lahat? Okay.
Salamat po kaming lahat sa inyo. Tapos puso niyong pagsuporta. We are just 2 years in having counting.
Yun.
At kalahati po doon COVID pa.
Oo, syempre.
Dapat hindi counted yung COVID. Sabi nga ng friend ko, nako, 40 na ako, pero 40 pa rin ako next year kasi hindi counted yung COVID.
pero di nila alam, mga Good Vibes, na nung COVID, maraming nagawa.
Yes.
Ang dami. Meron tayong nagawa. So, ganun talaga ang Good Vibes Pilipinas.
Hindi tumitigil.
Ibig sabihin, energizer.
Trendsetter.
Okay. Sabi niya, kumukulo, convincing. Mutulite pala yun. Magpatalastas muna tayo.
Sige, trabaho muna.
Okay, ito po ulit ang inyong grupo. Si Mayora, si Bibo, si Mark. Kasama yung si Papi sa 97.9 FM Community Radio Filipino-Australian Program. Good Vibes
Pilipinas! Boom!
It's my great honour and privilege to be the principal.
Nagsisigawan dito, Mark. Nagsisigawan,
Okay, studio na po, kuya. Pwede
Okay, extracurricular activities to allow students
banda-banda natin dito.
so that our students are happy, engaged and successful.
Dinala ko talaga yan.
College. Try. Persevere. Achieve.
Sponsors of this station.
Papa Mark, pakicheck naman yung anak ko. Tulog sa ban. Pakicheck naman yung si baby. Tulog sa ban. Matutulog lang yan.
Talagang medyo kasalad na.
Kaya nga, I'm going back to swimming para maging stronger yung cardio ko at lungs.
Serving the community. This is 979 FM.
May song request daw si marami tayong
Melbourne's Hot Mix of the 80s, 90s and today. 979 FM.
So far, laking tulong talaga.
If you're looking for a property, whether for ownership or investment,
or for your families, or seeking any legal assistance for your property in the Philippines? Merit Real Estate Provider and Services Incorporated is the best place to go. Check out their Facebook page to know more about them and the services they offer.
Ang galing, ha? Western Digital.
FM.
Wala bang Ayan, ha? We're being catered by Western Digital.
Yes.
Okay.
Shout out to you, Mark. What's up?
Digital media.
What's up?
Yan. Kung meron po kayong mga, syempre, gusto niyo mag-propose, i-live sa buong mundo.
Yan.
Gusto niyo ng anniversary, gusto niyo ng konting, kahit yung birthday niyo, syempre, because of COVID, walang gaano makaka-attend. Gusto niyo may mag-celebrate with your friends, ilalive niyo sila. So, ilalive niyo yung event. So, huwag po kayo mag-atubilan. Diyan po ang Western Media.
Western Media.
Yan. Kasama natin yan.
May tayo po lahat po na ginawa ng live ng Western Media. Big shout to you, Mark. Nakita po natin yung mga ginawang live niya sa sports, di ba? Yung boxing, lahat, di ba?
Paano na lang yung concert? Kahit yung concert di ba? Ibang level talaga.
Yung high level.
Iba talaga si Papa Mark.
So, big shout out to you, Papa Mark. Dito, kaway-kaway ka. Bigay mo yung contact number. Just in case to promote your business. Magsalita ka rito.
At saka sandali lang, di ba? Nauuso ngayon yung mga vlog, di ba? Oo, alam nyo, nakausap kaya si Papa Mike dati, Papa Mark, sabi niya, nagbibigay din siya ng some tips and lessons, di ba, Mark, for mga vlogger dyan. O, sige nga, tell us about it.
Bro. Hello po, si Mark po, Western Media. I offer live streaming sa wedding, mga debut, event like sports or yung mga concert, pwede nating ila-live. Tapos, nagtuturo din ako ng mga technical like how to set up this, kung kunwari gusto mo mag-vlog. So, I'll do consultation po.
Wow.
Yes.
And of course, sa mga band, di ba, na gusto mag-live.
Gusto mag-live, pwede collaboration, you know. Basta Pinoy, supporta tayo dyan.
Oh, wow! Well done. Thank you, Papa.
Mga beshi, nakita mo sa tono pa lang ng modulation ng boses ni Mark, pwede rin maging DJ.
Oo.
Ang sarap pakinggan dito kung basta yung modulation mo bro, para professional na DJ.
Syempre. May shoutout muna tayo. Clinton Flores is watching and also Andy Roca, one of my friends. Yung mga may mga job opportunities yan si Andy pinapa-relay dito sa Good Vibes Pilipinas.
Sige nga, ano daw?
So, hintayin natin si Andy kung meron siyang mga job opportunities that he will submit it to us para disseminate natin sa buong community. And Renny Castellano is watching and Rowena Alto Nasayaw is watching. Christina Riso Richmond and Divine GR Ace are watching.
Daming nanonood.
Edward Garcia is watching. How are you guys?
Wow! Hi guys!
Spread nyo po, i-like nyo po, i-share nyo po ang aming Facebook Live. And speaking of good vibes, Papi, no? Give them an update po regarding sa ating a website. A big shout out to Dialbox
Solutions.
Yes!
And also, alam mo ba na ang ating 97.9 FM website is also looking forward na makipag business Dialbox.
Wow! Congratulations!
Yes, because gusto nila yung karoon ng konting makeover yung 97.9 FM. So hopefully, magkaroon ng business between them and ang 97.9 FM. Ayan.
Wow!
Boom!
Ang daming nangyayari.
Hindi natin alam. Bigla na may susulpot na opportunities.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Sa lahat ng mga andyan, guys, papakilala ko yung lalo na yung pamilya na nandyan sa yung Safra family. Papakilala ko siguro wala silang ngayon. Wala silang signal kasi umaakit na sila sa bundok ng papuntang Buller. Yan po ay papakilala ko si May Red Safra, si Mayora. Safra family. Nandyan. Bibisita kami sa bahay nyo soon. Ihanda nyo na po ang inyong sinigang na bangus.
Masarap nga
yan. Sinigang na bangus, saka ang barbecue, saka ang chicken skin na dadalhin ko. Yan. Pag ako po ay pumunta sa inyo, may chicharong chicken skin tayo. Yan.
Nakakamiss na yung luto ni Papi, no?
Pero soon, hopefully, makakapag-blessing na rin kami. May konting gulo-gulo pa sa bahay. Kasi busy nga kami. Meron kaming hinululuto. Alam naman po natin. Saka mag-sponsor din kami once na ma-approve yung...
Bumabango na yung sibuyas at bawang sa niluluto ni Papi. Malapit na!
Yan pinapangako namin dun sa business na yun. We're praying for sponsor that. Tayo sa 97.9 FM.
Definitely.
Talagang sponsor kami sa 97.9 FM.
We're praying for that.
Ayan, sabi ni Papa Genesis Gayagoy, pa-request Pops, kontrabida.
Yan.
May price tag.
Yan. Boom.
Okay, boom. Sige, magpatugtog muna tayo.
Sige, musika.
Habang wala pa tayong ginagawang gaano. Habang inaantay natin ang ating guest, konting antay-antay. Sigurado, punta na yun dito si Honorable Steve Maggie bago mag-alas 8 ng umaga.
Yan.
Okay? Sige, patugtog muna tayo. Dito lang, kasama yun si Bibo, si Mayora, si Mark, at Papi sa 97.9 FM Community Radio Filipino-Australian Program. Good Vibes, Pilipinas!
Boom!
Land Skip Hire specialises in affordable and reliable skip bin hire in the city of Melton and the Shire of Maroubra. We have skips in all sizes ranging from 2 to 8 cubic metres and hook bins ranging from 6 to 30 cubic metres for both household and businesses. If you need a skip bin delivered to your house or business, call us on 0418 879 558 or visit jessandleands.com.au to book a skip today. Jess and Leanne's is a sponsor of 979 FM.
Fluid Connecto offers a wide range of superior hose assemblies and other quality products from leading industrial suppliers. We are your one-stop shop for high-pressure hydraulics and a wide variety of fluid conveying products.
Is that me?
Fluid Connecto is here to support you all year round, 24/7. We bring peace of mind to your maintenance activities worldwide. Sponsor 979 FM.
Di mo na remember?
Victoria, magpakita tayo ng kabaitan at paggalang kapag nasa labas tayo at namimili o nakikipagkita sa mga kaibigan.
Live tayo.
Para maging ang pagpapakita ng iyong katibayan ng pagbabakuna laban sa COVID-19 sa isang mahinahon at mabuting paraan, makatitiyak tayong ang lahat ay magiging komportable at ligtas kapag nasa labas ng ating komunidad at nasa trabaho. Tulungan ang mga negosyo ng Victoria na magawa ang lubos nilang makakaya upang protektahan ang mga parokyano at tauhan laban sa coronavirus. Alamin ang higit pa sa coronavirus.vic.gov.au/Tagalog.
na akong September 8.
by the Victorian Government.
Let's go. Anong...
I'm Christian Silverchair.
Hi, I'm Rich Science.
May blackage ako sa
Hi, I'm Dylan.
Hey, I'm Guy.
From classical to pop, reggae to hard rock, with country blues and easy to religion, sport and news for you. So stay with us and you'll be fine. Keep your dial locked to
Meron bang
979 FM all the time.
Dami pa. So, hindi lang polyps.
Make sure, It's better.
This is 97.9
Kaya parang nasal yung
Hindi, tsaka parado. Meron siyang taparang tubon. Kaya
Papi Melvin Mata, Bibo Santos, and Mayora May Zappa, imparting positivity, playing OPM music while serving the community. Good Vibes Pilipinas. Boom!
ng rain. Outside. Ito tubig.
Ay, technical difficulties. Ayan. Hindi ko makuha yung ano dito. Hanapin pa natin. Okay, any reports from
Victorian government? Kaya natin yung Pops, no? Pwede natin kumanta, umaga pa lang, di ba?
Oo. Pwede. Dati nga yung, di ko man mami.
Ayun ang buwan.
Ikaw ay mahalaga sa akin. Uy, hindi akala. Nag-silent sila. Akala totoo.
Akala ko kakanta talaga.
Tuloy. Boom.
Magkaroon tayo ng ano.
Wala ako ng tubig at natuyo ka na kayo.
Grabe dito. Okay, pero sige, maghanap pa tayo ng kanta. Yan.
Boom. Alright, so yun, sa lahat po nanonood po dyan, like and share nyo po ang aming Facebook page, ang aming live. Sa lahat po ng gustong mag-request, nandiyan po si Papi, handang ipatugtugin ang inyong mga requests. And of course, lahat po ng gusto po mag-sponsors, isahin na po natin, Papi, yung mga sponsors natin.
Ayan, syempre, so, Fluid Connect to Manoli.
Yep, Fluid Connect. Genesis, what's up?
And also yung ating mga parokyano dyan sa MLB.
Yes, Miranda Migration, Talia Roto, Lutong Pinoy.
Happy Hat, Ate Ligaya, what's up?
Ate Ligaya.
And of course, sa lahat po ng Alan Miranda Migration, ating sponsor din po sa from the Philippines, Pops.
Yes, yung ating Merit Real Estate Provider.
Yes.
SD Properties, a big shout out to Sheila and a fast recovery to John Tuazon.
Okay. Get well soon, John.
Yes, and of course, sa lahat po ng sponsorship po natin, marami dyan, Pops. SD Properties.
Meron pa yung ating Queen Lynn. Queen Lynn.
Yes!
Being of my
nakakalungkot kasi na-postpone yung activity ni Miss Rodelyn Daguplo, our friends here in Good Vibes Pilipinas. Nakakalungkot lang because of siguro nagka-clash ng ibang activities. But yun talaga. And we're still supporting yung mga activities ng Queen Lynn traveling tours. And then meron pa tayong isa, syempre, yung ating mananakbo, Australia.
Yes.
And syempre, andyan din yung Talyer Auto, Tire Box Solutions.
Yes.
And one of our masigasig na yan, mga sponsors natin. And ang ating Mighty Finance, si Bing. Alam ko, busy si Bing sa mga passports niya, which is very good kasi commercialized, natutulungan niya yung mga Pilipino na sa sports, hindi lang alam ko, hindi lang sa basketball, kundi volleyball ng pambabae. Nag-sponsor na rin siya. So, it's part of the business na involved siya sa community. 100% ano yan, magandang outcome, magandang impact. Kasi nga, hindi lang puro business ang naisip mo, kundi may serbisyo ka rin nagagawa para sa community mo.
That's true. I think that's where the businesses should go, no, di ba?
Yes.
Parang meron kang community impact, social impact,
yes,
diba?
Definitely.
Yeah. So hindi lang it's not just about making profit, it's not just about being wealthy, but it's actually, your social responsibilities.
Yes.
To your community.
Kumbaga sa amin, duty of care.
Yes,
Importante yun.
So work namin being a healthcare professional po, and of course being a teacher as well.
Yes, duty of care, it's very important.
Bibs, nasa ano na yun? Nasa panunumpa mo yun as a, allegiance mo yun as a Australian citizen. May nakalagay na rin, duty of care. So, hindi lang sa sarili mo, kundi sa community mo.
Sa community.
So, yun ang kagandahan, hindi lang puro preamble. Mayroon talaga rin sila.
True. Duty of care, it's very important. Duty of care.
Pero Mayora, ang dami mong mga pakuludas, natutuwa naman ako at marami mga programa si Mayora about sa bata.
Yes, oo.
Pambata.
Nagkaroon po kami ng tinatawag nating art therapy for kids kasi nga we found out na maraming mga bata mga nalulungkot.
Yeah.
So, we have this activity wherein they will choose the color and then they'll create whatever figure or artwork they want. And then they're going to express themselves. And we give them a safe, understanding space for them to talk about their feelings. And I think it's really important na the kids felt that, we're really listening to them. And even though they're kids, what they're feeling is valid. Alam mo yon na parang there's nothing wrong with it. We're going to be there. We're not going to judge you.
Yes.
You know? And that's very important. Sometimes then nami-miss out yun ng parents kasi many of our parents syempre obviously,
Busy,
'di ba?
yeah.
Tumaas na naman yung yung council rates, tumaas na naman yung
Especially that.
bank 'di ba? Yung mortgage. Syempre ang dami nilang iniisip.
Grabe yung taas ng mortgage.
Oo.
Grabe.
But really, it is important to find time to really sit down, talk to our children, make them feel that we're really listening to them. Huwag nating i-brush off, di ba? Kasi the worst thing that could happen is hindi na tayo nakausap ng mga anak natin.
Yes.
And they find other people to share their feelings. So, wag po. So, please find time to talk to your children, to really listen to them, and validate their feelings. Ayan. Oh. Kasi, napapansin ko yan marami sa ating mga kababayan, sometimes ini-invalidate nila yung feelings natin. For example, I will say like, nalulungkot ako today, or I feel stressed. And then sasabihin sa'yo, nasa Australia ka na nga, sarap-sarap na ng buhay mo, na-stress ka pa. Yung mga ganyan. So parang feeling mo, invalidate yung feelings mo. Pero hindi po dapat ganon. Dapat, hindi po natin alam kung ano pinagdadaanan ni Papi, ni Mark, ni Bibo, di ba? So when they talk to us, it means that they trust us. And so, find time to listen and validate their feelings. Yun lang. Yun lang yung gusto kong sabihin. Diba?
And of course, importante mga beshi, yung helping community.
Yes!
Diba? Yung helping community, it will give us a good advices, especially a big shout out po sa Couples for Christ Australia. And then it really big help for us, a young couple here. Kasi also, the mga senior po namin, they also give us an advice. Not especially sa family, of course, spiritually, bibigay po namin ng they also give us advice. A big shout out to Couples for Christ Australia. And of course, Papi, I would like to give a simple announcement po sa Kids for Christ Australia.
Yan.
Father's Day po sa
Uy! Naku, malapit na!
Run and Walk for a Cause po. On Saturday po. Ano po yun? Come and walk. It's a race po po. Every steps takes means a lot po. Gagawin po namin to sa may the meeting place will be Taylor Run Oval Recreation Resort sa Caroline Springs po. So, Couples for Christ Australia, with the Kids for Christ Australia, naglalakad po sinasabi natin mga father kasama ng ating mga kids.
Yes!
Diba? Go! To our senior po, si Ninang Eva Olivar, head po ng Kids for Christ Australia. Si cousin Faye Santos po. Big shout out to you. God bless.
You know, alam nyo, meron akong nabasang isang article, and this is scientifically based. Alam mo yun? They conducted an experiment to a number of children. And they just did very simple things like, you know, the daddy making pancake or walking in the park and things like that. Walang masyadong monetary involvement. Walang mga expensive toys or walang mga expensive gadgets. And you know what? The kids said that this is the happiest moment of my life.
Best day ever.
Yeah. So it doesn't really take a lot of money to make our children happy. It's just your time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, happy Father's Day soon sa inyong lahat.
Uy, bago ko mag-additional dun sa mga sinabi ni Mayor sa kanya, gusto ko munang batiin. Marami tayo. Joe Enric Landangkalan is watching.
Yeah.
Larry Austria is watching. And also Supremo Romel Cow is
watching.
Good morning, beautiful people. Melvin, Mayora, and Bro Bibo. Sabi ni Romel Cow. Also, ang ating kapatid, Papa Modesto Des Ruben Trillado. Diyos maray na aga.
Kuya
Des! Ng mga Bicolanos, Iglesia Australia, sin sa bilog na kinabahan. At syempre, shout out! Sa lahat ng mga Vibers, Pilipinas, boom! Hi, Bibs, May, and Mel.
Hello po,
binabati
Kuya.
ko ng happy belated birthday si Ate.
Hello po.
Trillado. And also, Ronald Molina is watching. Sabi niya, good morning po, good vibes. Boom!
Hello, Ronald!
And to add on, because of Gawad Kalinga Australia, which is, Simple Mayor is also our mga kasama natin yan sa Good Vibes Pilipinas and sa Gawad Kalinga Australia. Meron po kaming peer-to-peer counseling.
Yes.
Especially ako po ay kasama dyan sa peer-to-peer counseling na yan. Kung meron pong na-depress o may anxiety yung tao, especially sa international students community natin at sa mga migrant community natin na nag-iisa minsan. sobrang trabaho, minsan napapabayaan nila yung health nila, mental health nila, pati yung mga pamilya, stress pa sa pamilya kasi nga hindi naman po lahat ng international students nito mayayaman. Inaasahan din po sila na magpadala ng mga pera.
I know.
Lalo na mag-Christmas. So, minsan,
nakastress yan, no?
nadidepress kasi nga, 30 hours lang ang trabaho na dito, may pang-tuition pa, mag-tuition, di makapag-tuition.
May rent pa.
Grabe. So, alam po natin yung nararamdaman nila.
Yes.
And mental health is very important po dito sa community natin. Yun po, ako po, ang inyong lingkod ay palaging may kausap na hindi lang babae, lalaki, single man o may asawa o divorced, sila po ay nakakausap namin.
Yes.
Andyan po kami para makinig.
Correct.
Ang kailangan po namin gawin, makinig muna sa kanila at magbigay ng advice. Kung kailangan ng tulong pinansyal, ayan po, bibigyan po namin tulong pinansyal.
Yes.
But the more important thing on this issue, lalo na po yung mga kalalakihan natin, yung mga babae, alam ko maraming support group.
Sometimes it's hard for the man to talk about
Ang daming mga support. Ako nararamdaman ko, minsan ako lang lumuluha pag yung mga nababaliwala natin yung mga lalaki. Nag-divorce sila, ayaw pakita yung bata, yung anak, tapos kailangan pa ng pangsustento. Tapos biglang, papi, di ko alam kung anong gagawin ko, kung anong tama o kung mali. Minsan, ginagawa niya daw ang lahat, mali pa rin siya. Tapos, nagtatrabaho siya, ganun pa rin. Hindi siya magtrabaho, ganun pa rin. Hindi niya na alam kung saan siya papunta. Minsan, ang iniisip niya, eto sasabihin niya, minsan gusto niyang tapusin ang buhay niya. Which is very sad. Kasi, once na nakakausap ko siya, once na nagsiseryoso na siya ng gano'n at umiiyak, dun din pumapasok yung parang yung human side natin na alam mo, mas maganda yung nailalabas mo, sabi ko, nailalabas mo yung mga ganyang problema mo sa amin.
Yes.
Because, kumbaga, at least meron kang support system.
Yes.
Kaya yung sinasabi ko nga, if you have problems, lalo yung mga kalalakihan dyan, na hindi natin napapansin, minsan nagda-drugs na lang para maano yung problema. Huwag po natin sila i-judge.
Yes.
Maraming problema, may pagdadaanan yan. Ang importante lang, speak up. Kung meron po dyan, kung sino man ang nandyan, lalaki man o babae, bata, binata, kung ano man ang inyong estado, if you have problem, if you are depressed, if you have anxieties, if you have mental health problem, please look for someone you need to speak up.
Yeah.
Please speak up. Sa camera po ako nakatingin. Please speak up. If you need someone to listen to you, nandito po ang Good Vibes Pilipinas, nandito po si Mayora, Kagawad Kalinga Australia, tatanggapin po namin ang inyong mga hinaing.
Yes. Well, actually, Papi and I are trained, peer-to-peer counselors. And of course, Bibo here is a professional nurse. So, yeah. So, we are being able to help you. And if it's not within our capacity, we will be able to refer you to the right organizations and to the right people. It's very difficult kasi especially I want to appeal to the newbies, yung mga bagong dating sa Australia. Alam mo kung bakit? Because in the Philippines, mental health issue, ngayon pa lang to napapag-usapan eh.
Yes.
The discourse is just starting. And so there's a lot of stigma na parang, naku, baliw yan, or nababaliw na. Oo, yung ganyan. But it's not. Mental health is health. Okay? Kung masakit ang ngipin nyo, pupunta kayo sa dentista. Tama? Kung may lagnat kayo, kung may sakit kayo, pupunta kayo sa doktor. It's the same thing. If you have mental ill health, then you go and seek for help. There's nothing wrong with that, Actually, statistically, di ba, 4 out of 5 people in Australia at some point in their life would experience mental ill health. Diba? So, para siyang ubo, para siyang sipon. Wala siya dapat stigma. Hindi dapat itinatago na meron akong mental ill health issues, diba? So, yeah. So, don't be scared to talk about it. Kasi, hindi natin ma-address yung problema kung hindi natin pag-uusapan, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Especially Bibs. Ito, i-add ko lang. Di ba nung may kwento sa city daw may tumalon na construction worker. Tinapos yung buhay niya. It's an Australian, Caucasian. Ngayon, ang sinasabi nila, ginajudge natin sila because, ano ba yan, 2 weeks lang kayong hinintuan ng trabaho because of COVID, tapos magpapakamatay kayo.
You don't know the
It's
situation.
not about that. I think there's something deeper than that.
Yeah.
I think he has so many problems sa pamilya niya. Hindi man sa financial. Sabihin natin wala sa financial. Kahit sinong mayaman kahit sino ano pang estado, mayaman, mahirap, pag ikaw ay tinamaan ng mental problem. May mental problem yan.
Mental illness, yes.
So, lalo na sa side nila Bibo, di ba, especially sa inyo, yung COVID approach niyo sa mental health?
Yes. And then first, from foremost, Pops, it's all start with the family din eh. When it comes to the family, dun nag-start minsan ng ating sinasabi nating depressions.
Yes.
So, the most important thing is the inner core, yung ano sinasabi nating basic unit of the society is yung family support.
Yeah.
Pag once being a parent like us, the young couple,
Yeah.
sinabi ko rin kanina, yung support group talaga ng community. Once na nagbibigay kayo, especially me, in my part, diba? From my own experience then, I ask advices, of course, sa family ko muna.
Yes.
Sa parents ko, sa daddy ko, big shout to you, Dad. Mommy ko then, they play a big role in my life right now because they're the ones giving me an advice. And of course, they're also the one who's giving me a privilege, a bridge, getting closer to God. Kasi, not being sound so religious, pero when it comes to pag na si Lord na nasa buhay mo, everything, lahat ng mga imposible, magiging posible yan. So, one of the best advice to give you is, to get, anong religion, also welcome. Pero if you believe in God talagang malaking bagay.
Hope, yes.
The faith kasi, no?
The faith,
you have this bigger, higher being.
Yes.
You know, whatever your religion is, you know, or whatever religion you're practicing, you have a higher being
there's
where you get the
there.
strength.
There's hope on everything.
Yes.
Yeah. We'd like to acknowledge our dear guest for today. He just arrived, just right on time. And we'll play some advertising first after this one. And again, thank you for enjoying the morning. We're here again in 97.9 FM Community Radio, Filipino-Australian program. Good Vibes Pilipinas. Kasama si Papi, si Mayora, si Mark, and Bibo. Dito lang. 97.9 FM Community Radio, Filipino-Australian program. Good Vibes
Pilipinas! Boom!
Jess and Leanne's skip hire specializes in
Before we start, can we have
good morning. All sizes ranging from 2 to 8 cubic meters and hook bins ranging from 6 to 30 cubic meters for both household and businesses. If you need a skip bin delivered to your house or business, call us on 0418 879 558 or visit jessandleannes.com.au
Can you send me that?
to book a skip today. Jess and Leanne's is a sponsor of 979 FM.
Fluid Connecto offers a wide range of superior hose assemblies and quality products from leading industrial suppliers.
Thanks, man.
We are your one-stop shop
That's a
for
new.
high
That's
It's a different one, is it?
and a wide variety of fluid connector products. Fluid Connecto is here to support you all year round, 24/7. We bring peace of mind to your maintenance activities worldwide. Sponsor 979.
Ang bilis ng oras. Time is just so quick.
Victoria, magpakita tayo ng kabaitan at paggalang kapag nasa labas tayo at namimili o nakikipagkita sa mga kaibigan. Sa pamamagitan ng pagpapakita ng iyong katibayan ng pagbabakuna laban sa COVID-19, sa isang mahinahon at mabuting paraan.
Good. Yeah. Busy day today. I tell you, busy today. I'm everywhere today.
Kapag nasa labas ng ating komunidad at nasa trabaho. Tulungan ang mga negosyo ng Victoria na magawa ang lubos nilang makakaya upang protektahan ang mga parokyano at tauhan laban sa coronavirus. Alamin ang higit pa sa coronavirus.vic.gov.au
negative implication yung parokyano.
Yeah.
I'm Chris from Silverchair. Hi, I'm Ed Science.
This is Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
Hi, I'm Dylan.
Hey, I'm Guy.
From classical to pop, reggae to hard rock, with country blues and easy to religion, sport and news for you. So stay with us and you'll be fine. Keep your dial locked to 979 FM all the time.
Oh,
very good.
We have all the fans in the world.
This is 7.9 FM, Filipino-Aussie program, the home of good vibes,
interactive,
Papi Melvin Mata, Bibo Santos, and Mayora May Zafra, imparting positivity, playing OPM music while serving the community. Good vibes, Pilipinas.
Nice voice, Booms.
What is this? 97.9 FM.
Filipinos
travel.
Good vibes. Pilipinas. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have a shout out to Angel Dador. Good morning and belated happy birthday to Jason from Queensland. Thank you. And also Elizabeth Roquero Reyes is watching. And sabi ni Angel Dador, greetings to all the waray-waray in Melbourne. Mental health is much important. Just looking after physical health. Reach out. Zenny Ruiz Dalaza and Joe Borg is watching. How are you guys? Good morning. It's a happy weekend.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Our guest is here. Ooh. Yeah, on air. Live streaming as well on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. Again, what I would like to introduce our guest for this morning. He is Victorian Labour member for Melton District and Parliamentary Secretary for Health. Previously, he served as the State Secretary for Ambulance Union, and he believes in working with others to achieve shared outcomes. Nothing ever greater than our Honorable Steve McGee, member of the Parliament. How are you, sir?
Very good, Melvin. Thank you, and thank you for inviting me here.
In the house.
Thank you.
Okay. So Steve, thank you very much for giving us time here in Good Vibes Pilipinas. We have a lot of followers. Of course, we have a lot of people watching, especially the Filipino migrants here in Melton. So welcome aboard, Sir Steve McGee.
Thank you very much, and it's great to be here this morning. So weather's not so great outside, but so it's lovely to be inside. So hello everyone, and hopefully we'll be a bit entertaining this morning.
Yes, and may I introduce to you also May, Red Zafra, and Bibo Santos. Bibo Santos is working in Melton Health.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, also working. Yeah. One of the department here in Melton.
Fantastic.
Civic Center. We always saw the Civic Center.
That's fantastic, and that's what we need. We need workers in health, and we'll continue to grow that. And hopefully, when we build our new hospital, we'll get plenty of workers in health.
Yes. Speaking of hospital, we have a lot of Filipino nurses all over Australia, so we're very happy to here in Melton, we're starting to have giving us a good privilege, especially all the Filipino nurses out there. They're very good, and then very giving a lot of efforts regarding with the care with the patients. So world class.
Yeah, look, my history in health has been within ambulance, and you're absolutely right. Filipino nurses and international nurses coming here to Australia to support our communities and our patients is just amazing, and I know that both the state and federal government are looking to recruit a lot more nurses, obviously with our health situation now, but also, as I've said, when we complete the building of the Melton Hospital, we'll certainly rely on a lot of Filipino nurses. So thank you to them and all health staff for what they've done for us, in particular during the pandemic. So thank you.
Yeah, so there are, a lot of Filipinos in Melton. It's a very, it's an emerging community, and I know a lot of people are listening to us this morning. And so we're encouraging you guys, if you're listening to us and you have some questions, please send it to us, and we'll pass it on to Steve, and we'll try to answer all your questions today.
Absolutely.
And if not, we'll reach out, to you and give you the answers. So yes. Come on, let's get an interaction. Let's
also, Steve,
going.
May is also a school teacher.
Oh, lovely.
And also one of our technical family member, Good Vibes Philippines family member, that's Mark
in tech. So
thanks, man.
Yeah. So we have so many events to collaborate in the future.
Yeah.
Especially I've been here in Melton for 2 years now. Yeah. So and the 2 years here in 97.9 FM. Community radio. We're very, very grateful here that they catered the Filipino-Australian community, and very lucky. Thank you very much, Sir Bob and Miss Suzanne, and also Jason Wilson. So thank you very much, those executive officers of 97.9 FM. All right, so we'll start with
yeah.
Bibs?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, should I?
Yes.
Okay, Sir Steve, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very happy
going well.
because I'm also being a local here also in Melton. So I'm also a member of Venture Melton.
Yes.
And of course, a small business. I'm also an active member there.
Yes.
And well, in fact, I'm also a small business owners here in Melton. So I just want to ask you during this. Especially right now, Melton City is a fast rising suburb. So how can you? Is there any program that you can support all the small businesses here in Melton?
Sure. Well, as you know, through the pandemic, the government provided a number of grants for small business to try and assist. And of course, not all small businesses received those grants, but quite a number did. There's also programs through Jobs Victoria, through the Employment Ministry, through Small Business Ministry, where there are mentoring programs, advocacy programs, supporting businesses in trying to assist them in the way that they set their businesses up, how they run their businesses, and other levels of support. So I'm well aware of Venture Melton. I have been to a couple of their functions and their events, and I think they're a really good organisation and agency and support network within Melton in regard to the businesses. So I encourage any small business operator to get on the Victorian Government website regarding small business. We have a fantastic small business minister in Minister Pulford, and she came out here. I ran a business breakfast down at Western Base a few months ago, and Minister Pulford came out for that breakfast, and it was well attended. And out of that, I know that a number of businesses were supportive from her department. So, but if anyone wants to make contact with my office, by all means, please do. And if we can help and assist and direct, absolutely happy to do so.
Okay, to all them small business owners out there, Steve McGee is the guy. Contact him, all right? Big shout out to you guys. All right, go ahead, guys.
And also, Steve, I also need to introduce to you, Mayora is one of the inductees as well in the VMC Multicultural Induct Commission.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank
you.
Well done. So
well done.
Yes.
We've been nominated and inducted there with 2 more Filipino Australians, one in living in Ballarat and one in, I think, Deer Park. Yeah. So we're 4 out of hundreds that's been nominated. I think how many are? Just
128 applicants.
Nominated,
applicants, and then they chose 28
well done.
inductees.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you'll be busy.
Yes.
Very
it's
busy.
fantastic, and it's great, and congratulations to you. And while I'm congratulating people, Nolan, I should congratulate you because I believe that you're receiving a Governor's Award for volunteering. So congratulations. I think it's a fantastic outcome, and well done to you and for what you do.
Yeah. Actually, I've met Steve in one of our sports activities before. We've brought the Ateneo Blue Eagles here, and we've invited Steve to inaugurate and bless the whole activities. We've invited multicultural sports people, the players from the Somalian community. I've invited some in the Chinese community to play with our champions in the Philippines, and that's why we have these kinds of relationships with other communities as well. I think that started our initiation with each other. You know what I mean? So, and that comes to some projects as well with Gawad Kalinga, with Ate Marisa, that especially the Filipino community, that we are struggling. We are scattered. We know that we are scattered. We're not like the Indian community that's really binded at the moment. They have the real, community. The Indian community is everywhere, and they're really into unity. But I don't know what's problem with the Filipino community. We've been here for since 1912 or 1920. And some Filipino Australians were born here as well, with Filipino blood. And then I don't know what's the problem. Are we really quick on evolving as Australians, or we are still with the mentality of destroying each other in the Philippines? Because in the Philippines we are more on a regionalistic.
Very regionalistic.
What you call it, this mentality. If there's someone from other regions coming to us, it's, he might, there's something. We're on the security of our area before, because I don't know what's the history of us, but moving forward. So I think Australia gave us a lesson on how to build our relationship with others, and again, moving forward, I think you guys in the politics will surely help the Philippine community unite into I think in time. So and thank you very much again for giving us this opportunity, because we really need you. Really need you, good leaders of Australia, to bind us together. I think it's time. Yeah, May?
Yeah.
Any more?
I want to talk to you about the project that I'm doing and that got me into the Victorian Multicultural Honor Roll. So during the pandemic, I started this non-for-profit organization called Tagalog Learning Incorporated, wherein we are a pool of volunteers teaching Filipino to kids. And we found it, we were doing it in Delhi Community Center, but COVID hit, so we started doing it online. And then we started, reading bilingual storybooks for kids, and things like that. And they were so happy with it because they created this group of, community among the small children. And we're looking at, we have two classes, 5 to 10, which are the kids, and then 11 to 16, which are the teens. And they loved it. And so I just realized, and I did some research, but our libraries don't have a lot of bilingual books. So that's one concern I would like to share with you today. So there are a lot of bilingual books from, of course, Vietnamese and Chinese and things like that. But there are emerging communities that they don't have a lot of resources in our libraries. That's one issue. And I think if we can replicate this model to Melton, not only to the Filipino communities, but to other, multicultural communities wherein they have to have their, cultural language, social language, and storytelling things. I think it would be, it would be a place where people can congregate, enjoy their culture, as well as learn about our mainstream culture and our Australian way of life. And I don't see any reason why we can't invite Aboriginal storytellers. Where we can listen to their story as well, and share and really understand Australian culture. So this is something that I'm thinking about, and I would be happy if you will be able to introduce me to some people I can work with, because I don't mind working as a volunteer for these projects. And so I'm really looking forward to talk to you and build that kind of engagement.
May, what you're saying is quite relevant and quite, it's right that, multicultural communities want to extend their culture, their language. They want the younger generation to learn their language, not just have English as the only language within the family. And that goes across most multicultural groups, if not all of them, and that's been raised with me, and recently it's been raised with me about why our schools don't teach the second language of Punjabi in some of the schools, in particular here in Melton, with such a high Indian community and things like that. The Indigenous language, that schools now are starting to do some of that. It's quite interesting you raise the issue of the books in the libraries, and that's something that we should take up with Melton Council and the library, and I dare say other libraries across the state. But also I can take that up with the minister that may be responsible for, councils and libraries and things like that to see what the progress of that is. And I dare say over time we will see that evolution of that changing where we'll have bilingual books. I think it's absolutely essential that we're teaching the mother language to the different communities, and while it's great that that people are speaking English, it's even more important that they speak their own language and understand their own language and understand their culture. Even more important for people like myself as an Anglo-Saxon to understand the cultures, and that's the great thing about the Melton community. We have so many multicultural groups, and there's so much to learn from my point of view, and people like me and other cultures learning other cultures. And I just noticed with a lot of the festivals that I go to and a lot of events that I go to, it's not just, it may be run by Indians, it may be run by Filipinos, but everyone is invited. So all cultures are invited, and that's what we want, and that's what's great about Melton and this country and the state of Victoria. And I have to applaud our Premier. He is a strong advocate for multiculturalism. And I would say that Victoria leads this country in multicultural affairs and engaging multicultural groups into our community. In fact, you probably run our communities now because of so much involvement by the multicultural groups. So I'm happy to work with you on that locally, and let's see where we can get to.
Yes.
Thank you.
Actually, Steve is all around.
Yeah.
He's all around the place.
He just said his voice busy.
You can see his Facebook page. Oh, where is he? Where is he? Where is it that he's here?
Yes.
And
there he is again.
And of course, Steve, I'm also happy to commend you for there's a lot of projects going on, especially here in Melton, because I have a business here, Learners Hub. We're doing the tutoring, multicultural, and of course, I'd also to commend you for. There's a lot of schools right now.
Do you want me to talk about the schools?
Yes, of course.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Again, we talk about Victoria leading in multiculturalism, but I've got to say we're leading well in advance of most other states in building and refurbishing schools. And just in Melton alone, in our electorate, we've opened up 2 new primary schools in the last 2 years, and that was at Amesbury last year, and now Strathtulla this year. Strathtulla opened up with 728 kids.
I was there. I want to.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's a beautiful school.
I'll let you see.
They opened with 728 kids. They now have 790, and they're likely to go well over 1,000 kids next year.
Done.
So you can see how schools are growing. In fact, they're actually outgrowing that school. The government's set aside some money in the budget for Brookfield Primary School is supposed to be built next year for 2024 school year. We're also purchasing 2 blocks of land, one down at Weir Views and one down at Cobblebank. The one at Cobblebank will be for a secondary public school.
We need that one.
And the one at Weir Views will be for a primary school also. And then I think there's about 5 early learning centres, early childhood learning centres that will be built within the next 18 months to 2 years, all aligned to the schools. And there's a school that's already being constructed at the moment, which is in Thornhill Park. It's called Murray Road School at the moment. That's to be opened up next year. And you're probably looking at 500 to 600 kids that will be going to that school next year with an early learning centre next door. So we can't keep up with the growth of
population.
Our school children.
We are a factory now. We are a factory.
Yeah, we are. But it's great to see. And then there's refurbishment of schools like the Exford Primary School, and I just opened up 8 new classrooms, new administration building. They just had sewerage and mains water connected to the school, which is a great advancement for them. It's fantastic. They'll have a second stage build in total, $33.4 million that school will be upgraded by. And of course, Staunton College have just opened up their new gym, and it's a magnificent gymnasium, and upgraded some schoolrooms. And they will upgrade the rest of the school to the tune of $31.77 million, so it'll virtually be a new school. And that will increase the spaces at that school by another 400 spaces for kids. So while we're trying to keep up with things, there is a hell of a lot going on around education, and there are a lot of other schools that are receiving money to try and improve their facilities, and that's what we want for our kids. We want first-class facilities. We want to have space that they can be educated properly. We want to have fantastic teachers, which we've got, and we want to recruit more. So education in this state is booming. Absolutely booming.
Standards as well. Because of that, the quality of teaching and education is high. Really, the expectation of.
And of course, there's a lot of young family or transplants
Yes.
also in Melton.
Absolutely.
So I'm one of the young family over there. I'm very happy.
We are young family, you know. We are
and
young
of course,
families.
we are young family. Okay, I got it. I got you. All right. And of course, Steve, also how the Melton is coping up with the fast growing.
Yeah, well, it's a good question. It's extremely fast growing. I think on average about 7,000 people move into Melton per year. 50 to 60 babies are born every week. So I mean that's 2 classrooms every week. So that's the issues that we're up against. Look, we're dealing with growth, both the council and the state government, and now with the federal Labor government, we're hopeful that we'll be able to work with them and deliver a lot more. It's really difficult to try and stay ahead of growth. It's really difficult when we started from such a long way back. But you know, I think we're getting there. I think we are getting there, and just reciting those things about education, and obviously with the hospital coming, I'm hopeful that we've had the train line fixed and we've had new railway stations put in. I'm hopeful that the Melton railway station, I know that it will be upgraded, and I'm putting bids for things like level crossing removals and things like that.
Yeah, especially
just to improve our transport and also the traffic flow through the township. I've had discussions about a TAFE college coming into Melton, and I'm hopeful that we'll see something like that happen in the next few years. And then, of course, when you have a major hospital come in, universities will have an interest with the hospital, as we have with Sunshine Hospital, with Footscray Hospital, the new Footscray Hospital, where we have universities aligned to the hospital. And I'm very hopeful that there will be a partnership there between some universities and the new Melton Hospital, which again which creates jobs. The hospital itself will create over 4,000 jobs if we have TAFE, if we have university, those types of things there. And of course the additional schools, it's about jobs, people staying in their local communities, not have to travel into the western suburbs or to the city. We're getting there, but nothing's perfect. We just got to keep chipping away and continue to build these things and grow Melton to provide for our communities.
Beautiful. I'm speechless.
That's a first, isn't it?
We love it, Steve. We love it.
Well, we'll come back for some advertising. Okay?
Yes, hanap buhay.
With our guest for today, it's Honorable Steve McGee, Bibo, Mayora, si Mark, and Papi. It's 97.9 FM Community Radio Filipino-Australian program. Good vibes,
Pilipinas! Boom!
Breaking news: Explosion Bar and Bowl is now open. Explosion Bar and Bowl is located at 125 Bakery Square. It has 10 lanes for 10 pinball, 50 arcade games,
I studied in Latrobe for my master's degree, and I did social linguistic landscape, and I studied in Latrobe, and it's basically Filipino, but yeah, that's the result of my research material.
It's a great issue to raise.
Hello,
we'll follow that up.
Sorry, I have to go. See you around. This is my number or something. And then can I have a picture with you?
Can you send me? I'll give you.
Of course. This is our business.
I'll text you my number.
Yes.
Okay.
This is our. This is for you. Take a pic with advantage of it. So,
Yes! You're a learner's hub!
Restaurants Awards. Noddy's Kitchen Cabinets, proud sponsors of 979 FM.
A safety message from Farm Safe Australia.
And then all the venture melted are always welcome.
Yeah.
Because still on the council, I'm also.
You're happy for me to post this on Facebook?
Yes, I'm very happy. So, I'm also your number, Steve, just in case. Yeah.
We made our house yard a secure place for our son to play. The fence is over 1 metre high.
So Councillor Van der Berg, I want also active member of the.
Supervision and
Yeah, she's good. She's very good.
A good combination.
For further farm
Thank
safety
you very much, Steve.
information,
Guys,
contact
you gotta go.
Farm
Thanks
Safe
for the show. Thank you.
Thank
you.
8218 or visit the Farm Safe website.
Alright. Ayan. Medyo ano tayo ha? Medyo nagulo. Yan.
Napapa-English tayo, Papi.
Oo, my English has already been dilapidated. Because of that.
How many words did you carry today?
Oh, it's a weekly allowance of it, but I have 2 weeks of allowance for that. So, anyways, I think I also want to comment on your side, Mayor. I think I remember when I first came here. I think it's 2008. Our Prime Minister was Kevin Rudd, and he's very. That's one of his advocacy. Have you seen all of when you go to a government agency, any offices, there are too many translations there. I don't know what happened to that, but if we had continued doing that, I think we're almost in a 80% or 70% of we call it communication, but because we have a communication barrier, that's what's the problem. I think we've tackled almost of the communication barrier because of that. I think Kevin was a Labour
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
Yeah, and he was bilingual. He spoke Chinese. Yeah.
And there's a lot of research as well that backs up the benefits of being a bilingual.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the way that we apart from the pandemic, the way that we travel and overseas and having tourists and that come here and people that want to live here. I mean, I think it's important for our general population to learn another language.
Yes.
So really important. So.
Yeah, so kung meron kayo mga questions dyan sa Facebook, sa YouTube, and sa Twitter, again, you can send in your questions to our dear Honorable Steve McGee. Excelsa Abante is watching, and May Grace June Nilima is watching. Anika Bituin, Vera, how are you, Anika? Wala ba tayong paano dyan? Ano nga yun? Espasol? Anika? And also my lovely wife is saying, good morning, Steve. My lovely wife.
Thank you.
Again, she's a nurse as well. So I've especially I told Steve McGee that we're doing a business, the NDIS provider business, because I wasn't that aware before, but I think the multiculturalism made me decide or made me support the mental health awareness and also the family violence awareness, because it's very different than the Philippines, Steve. We wanted to be an advocate of this, not just here, but we wanted to really employ those awareness to spread the awareness to the Philippines. If that's our plan. If we go home, I think I will be speaking to some of the government officials, local, what I've learned in Australia. The guys, it's very different. There in the Philippines, we tackle discrimination, especially they don't understand what's happening to mental health, and that's what I'm going to learn here. And I told Steve, because he's a Secretary of Health now. He's a cabinet member. And I always see him on Facebook as well.
Yes, I follow him on Facebook.
Yeah, when I saw it, not just on health, but on construction as well. And I love it. And because it's very different, especially in the Philippines. It's boring at the moment watching those legislative bodies debating. Actually, they're not debating. Sometimes I'm It's funny listening to them rather than it's better listening to the parliament. Actually, Steve, I want to tell you when we went to Queensland to the Gold Coast 2 weeks ago. It's funny because the default radio station is the debate on the parliament.
Oh, really?
That's why I was like, what? This is it's how they really mock each other. And it's very educational. It's very educational, but I haven't heard Steve, doing that kind of, strong debate. Yeah. But I want to see, Steve involved in that as well.
Something I've learned about my experience about Australian politician is that when you talk to them, they really listen to you.
Yes.
I had a privilege to had a Zoom conversation with Honorable Hawk, and I've discussed with him the assimilation issues that the Filipino youth are experiencing. They felt neglected and all these things, and he said that is quite an interesting issue that you've raised, and if you can write a report. So I wrote a paper for him, and I just forget about it because Filipino politicians will not even read my report. Right? Okay. And then I got an email from his secretary saying that they are interested to hear more. And so I'm sitting with you today, Steve, and then I'm telling you about what I found out, and you just came back to me, and that is quite interesting. And so that's what makes me feel it's important as a member of the community.
And possible as well.
That
possible, yeah.
Your leaders, your politicians are actually listening to you. And then not just brushing it off under the rug, you know what I mean? Because that is my experience from back home.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great, and I'm pleased to hear that you think Australian politicians do that, and that's our job, is
exactly.
to listen, but also listen, learn, and act on certain things.
Yes.
That doesn't mean to say we can always deliver everything that people want, but don't expect that politicians know everything. They don't. And that's their reasoning for wanting to listen to their community members. And as I say, I mean, I'm more than happy to listen to everyone, and that again, but that doesn't mean to say I can deliver everything. But a lot of that listening is also learning for us, because we need to learn about some of the issues that are affecting different parts of the community and how they affect the community. And then in some cases we then can have a look at that, assess that, have departmental people look at it, and then it could be something that either is a policy change, it might be a funding issue, there might just be support or through grants, and we would be hopeful that we can assist and rectify or improve things based on the feedback that we get from the community. So to me, that's the most important thing in this job, and that is to listen to people, take on board what they say. If there are things that can come out of that benefit the outcomes for community members, then I think that's important, and that's our role.
And
to come to consultation.
Yes, that comes to the mindset of the Filipino-Australian community as well. I think from what we've experienced, because Filipino associations here are scattered, and I don't know what's their their motivation to achieve. That's why we skip on going to the Filipino-Australian community and went to the mainstream multicultural, and that's what we've learned from other communities as well. What's the difference? What's happening with the Filipino community? Why is it that we're being left from the others? The Vietnamese community has their own community centers. The Indian community everywhere has their own centers. Where's the Filipino community? We should be the ones leading the whole pack, because we're the first ones who came here. But what's the problem? I think because of the family first mentality of the Filipinos, that after we settle here, we need to migrate. We help our families. We don't want to care other families as well. and that's because of that. It's a migrant, simple migrant attitude. But the thing is, if we get involved with the community more, we're going to have a more prosperous or more progressive community.
Yeah.
Like what's happened right now, we don't have any. Yeah. And that is why the Good Vibes Filipinas, again, Good Vibes Filipinas here, and we, as Good Vibes Filipinas family, we're planning too many activities as well. We're hands-on. Yeah. As you can see, I've been in the concert. I've been in the. I'm working at the operations, not just clapping your hands. Oh, okay, managing everything. Yeah. We're really hands-on on our activities because we wanted to make it perfect. We wanted that our activities be known, and for you guys to help us prosper as well. And that's for example, we have a plan of having a Good Vibes Pilipinas bus, a simple bus like what we're looking at, where we've seen on the street right now, a cute bus that we can go around Victoria and Australia to explore and even introduce the beauty of Victoria to the world. Yeah. Because we have so many viewers around the world as well. And each of the state or each of the places that we visited, we can invite politicians as well. We can invite their music artists, their actors to come with us and come to the bus and be interviewed and be known. Not just the Filipinos, but also in other communities, other cultural communities. And those are the plans that we need, that we don't have any monetary, that we can afford as just a family man or a family wife, because this is all just volunteerism. And we couldn't achieve that in just 1 or 2 years. No. So we really needed support from you guys. In the government to really help us climb and reach our goals, because volunteerism is really hard.
It is hard.
We're involving our times out of our families, and those are not paid. So Steve McGee really understood that.
I mean, volunteers do a great job, and we need them, but it is very demanding on your time, and then, as you say, it takes you away from your family. I suppose the great thing about that is that the volunteers that do all the great work within multicultural communities are bringing those communities to the rest of the state and Australia and internationally. There are multicultural grants and things like that to try and help with some support, and I know that with some festivals and that you've had, there's been receipt of grants and things like that. I'm always very supportive of multicultural groups applying for grants, and I would always try and put in a support letter for those different groups, and happy to extend that to the Filipino groups community to support any grant applications. So, but I commend all the work that the volunteers do, and I understand why you do it, because you do want to bring your community to the forefront, and you want to engage people within that community and grow and things like that. So I congratulate you on all the work that you do, and it does take you away from your families. That's one of the negative things of it. But I suppose the longer term outcome is that you have a greater involvement of people, greater involvement of families, and you're growing that community and assimilating that community to the rest of the other communities within Melton and the state of Victoria.
But I think it's also important maybe to have some support from like local councils to have some sort of training, because I know there are a lot of people who wanted to do volunteer work, but they just probably don't know how to start, where to start. And what kind of skills do I need? Like, for example, right now I'm talking to a lot of elderly people, and they say like, oh, I don't like the way we do grants now because it's all computerized. I don't know how to use a computer and those kinds of things. But I suppose we have some, I think we have a lot of programs with our libraries teaching, our elderly how to use computers or gadgets and things like that. But it also would be nice to have some sort of different skills that we could use on board as volunteers for different projects. And if the council or local governments could provide us with that training, then I'm pretty sure we can, encourage more people to do volunteer. Let's say, for example, here in the station, not everybody would want to be here because they would think, oh, it's too difficult. These kinds of things, and I think that's limiting also the way we can engage more volunteers to join us.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is the fear of the unknown.
And
that's just getting over that first step of saying, oh, look, a radio station it's not an evil thing. You see all the microphones and wires and cameras. And
that's it.
It's not scary. It's not that bad, So, but no, you're right. I think also with say grant applications and things like that, I've got an idea that local council maybe through the libraries might be able to assist with that.
Yes.
And the libraries are not just like they used to be. They're a fantastic hub now for a whole range of things.
Yes.
So, and Melton has an exceptional library.
Yes.
Here in Melton, the one in Melton, and I know they've got a good library down at Caroline Springs also. So I do encourage people to, get involved with the library and seek some assistance through there. There's also other organisations like Volunteer West and things like that are keen to recruit volunteers and support volunteers and in some way train volunteers to assist. So there are agencies that do it, and again, I do think people should go through the library and have a look and talk to people at the library, and they can certainly steer them in the right direction. I don't want to create any more work for people at the library. But I do think it's a good starting point.
It is.
And look, and worst case scenario, you can always come to the local member's office, my office. Either you can do it by telephone, email, or come in and see us, and my staff can assist with some of this to try and find an avenue for people if they want to volunteer. But also, even with grant applications and support for grants and things like that, if people want to make contact with my office or come in and see me at 3 Alexandra Street, Melton. My staff would be more than happy to talk to them about any assistance that they need.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, we have something from here. Sabi nga, Yolanda Biasca is watching. How are you, Miss Yolanda Biasca? One of our super fans, Miss Yolanda Biasca. And also Sherry ZP. Good morning, everyone. She's watching us. Renz Marian Rosales Mabuhay is watching. Augusta Theodore is watching. And also happy pala ng aking mahal na asawa na aking better half. Sending best regards from paramedics from Ambulance Victoria who miss Steve. They said they are proud of you. She worked in Ambulance Victoria. So.
And what was her name again?
My wife.
Your wife? Oh, right. Okay.
She works everywhere.
Oh, lovely.
She works in COVID testing, COVID vaccination. Yeah, she works everywhere.
Good on her. Well, thank you for that. And to the paramedics of Victoria, and in particular the paramedics in Melton and Bacchus Marsh and through this Western Corridor, I can extend my thanks and appreciation for all the work that you do. I know it's very demanding at the moment with what's happened with the pandemic, as it is for all healthcare workers. You do a fantastic job. Stay safe and keep up the great work.
Oh, that's it. From our dear Honorable Steve McGee. Yeah. So I think we have 45 minutes to go. Mayora and Mark, and also there's Steve McGee. There is Steve. Do you have messages for the Filipino-Australian community, if you have?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've always found the Filipino community very welcoming and very polite, professional, as I say, very welcoming people. And I've always looked forward, in my 3.5 years as a politician, in trying to work with the Filipino community, but previously in my job when I was at the ambulance union and prior to that as a paramedic, I've always found them very charming and very happy people. And you sort of ooze happiness and friendliness and I welcome you here in Melton in particular. And I'll go back to what I said earlier in the program, and that was I know that Victoria is a very welcoming state for different multicultural groups, and I applaud again our Premier on that. He's a great leader in multiculturalism, and so is our Minister, the Honourable Ross Spence. But So the Filipino community, I've always found very happy, very polite, very forthcoming, excitable,
happy,
happy, love music, dancing, colour, all that sort of stuff, which is fantastic. And that's what we want to see, and that just extends across the rest of the community. So to the Filipino community, welcome. Please come to Melton.
Yes, please come to Melton.
Enjoy everything that we have. Enjoy the festivities that will happen, I dare say, into the near future when some festivals and different events occur. And please make yourself known to myself if you need to use me as any avenue to assist in whatever you need. So welcome to Melton, welcome to Victoria, and enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Again, Steve McGee, we've met in so many events, so many gala. We have, I think the recent one is in the Phil-Aus at 75 years.
Yes.
May, if you remember, we went to, where was that? In
that was in the city, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
a big hotel. What was the hotel?
What hotel?
The Langham.
The Langham. Yeah,
that was a big event. That one.
Yeah. And then we first met in multicultural before the
Yes,
COVID.
in Melton.
In Melton as well. Our first multicultural job fair and food fest. Right?
Yeah. So it rained all day.
Yeah, rained all day. But we're going to do that as well in the future. Maybe in the summer.
Have to do that without rain.
That would have been a fantastic
we'll
event. That
it
it was
during
just
the
a shame
summer.
about the weather. Yeah.
So again, would like thank you, Steve. We appreciate your time, and we're organizing something, but we don't want to announce it here. So we've been a friend of you since first. We first started 2 years ago. So hopefully this friendship will last for a long time.
It will. I hope so.
All good. Thank you, Steve McGee, again. Anytime he's available, he's going to come, especially on our station, our program. All right, let's already 8:46 in the morning, 10 degrees Celsius outside. Here's some more advertising.
Science tests indicate that listening to soul music on 979 FM Soul Food Cafe with Johnny Soprano every Wednesday afternoon between 2 and 4 keeps you 3 degrees colder in the summer, 2 degrees hotter in the winter, and cool all year round.
Test results have not been peer reviewed, except for being cool all year round when you listen to 979 FM Soul Food Cafe.
I'll do more research for you.
Well, I'll just play a song.
9
school. Yeah, a little bit of school.
I don't have kids.
Well, we should.
Yeah. And my partner is very sporty.
Yeah.
This is my
What did your partner do?
He works in anything.
Really? Yeah. It's my bank.
Yes.
Trade Union Bank.
Alright, we're back. Back to business. Yan, kasama po namin si May, Mayora, and also Honorable Steve McGee. It's Papi Melvin here with Mark. And we're back. And it's 8:56 in the morning. Ayan, malapit na tayo matapos. And again, we're very thankful for this opportunity to a very dear Steve. Yan. And salamat nga pala sa mga nakantabay dyan sa Facebook. Alam ko na putol tayo sa Facebook because of copyright. Ayan. Pero we're again live. And Pulan Bakes and Maria Cristina Rosario Malikdem. Ayan. Happy birthday, Maria Cristina. And Pulan Bakes also shared this post. Okay, galing. Pulan Bakes, thank you ha. Salamat sa yung sana all. Thank you very much. Again, we're going to NLC after this one. NLC will be there. And sa lahat ng mga followers, if you have time, you can come to NLC and see us. If you could, pwede ka rin picture sa amin mamaya if you want to. And kung meron man, mabibigyan namin kayo ng t-shirt. Kung meron ako natitira sa van. And mugs as well. So we have a new mugs and also a new t-shirts. If you want, lahat ng mga fans namin, lahat ng aming mga followers, just let us know. We'll give you some t-shirts and some mugs. This is for free. Okay, because of your following to us. And thank you very much, guys. Ayan.
Yes, and I just want to say happy birthday to my papa. I love you, Dad. I miss you. See you soon.
And also, I would like to greet a very happy birthday to Merchants Manila's First Lady. And si Bernie Sarano.
Bernie, happy birthday.
And Angela Alcantara. And also Maricris Albia and Abraham Sigi. And also Maria Cristina Rosario Malikdem.
Yes, of course, I want to say happy birthday to Barbara, Lloydie's sister. Yes, they're enjoying their holiday in Europe right now. So enjoy, guys.
Yan. Again, happy anniversary sa mga anniversary dyan. Yan. Kung hindi kayo masaya sa inyong anniversary, kami papasayahin namin kayo. Basta sana all lang. Okay. Kung may mga requests dyan, if you have requested songs and you have shout-outs, please let us know so that we could, announce it here. Back tayo kay Honorable Steve McGee. Yan. How's the family?
Family's good. Yeah, family's very good. My wife is really good. And,
she's enjoying the dancing when she was in she enjoys the dancing when she was in the
She enjoys the dancing, but I don't think she enjoys dancing with me. I'm not a great dancer.
But the food in Lang was better. Better from the other. Yeah, I don't want to.
So I have a question. So I know you're a very, very busy person. So what do you do during your free time?
Wow.
Footy.
I like sport.
Yes.
We have a caravan, and if we get enough free time, we try and travel a little bit just in the caravan, just to get away for a few days. So that, and then we have a little property, so we sort of spend a bit of time around the little property that we've got, but more so just enjoy going out, having meals and things like that, just to relax there. Yeah.
So let me explore a little bit about the caravan. If someone's going to travel, where would you recommend them to go?
Well, there's so many places in Australia that you can go, but our aim was to travel around each state at a time, so rather than do the big all Australia trip. we've done a lot of travel up the east coast of Australia, up the east coast of New South Wales, in particular the mid-north coast, around Coffs Harbour, that area, and up a little bit north towards Byron Bay. So we've done a lot of travel along that eastern coast. We quite like that area, in particular for most of the year, because it's quite temperate weather, nice beaches, things like that. So we've done a lot of travel there. Done a lot of travel around Victoria, of course. And of course we go up towards the hotter weather, because the aim of caravanning is to be outside a lot, and you want the warmer weather at times. So the last couple of Christmases we've been up at Mildura, and it's been absolutely lovely. The weather has been incredible. So, but we like to get to places like Echuca and Moama and places along the Murray River. But anyway, just to have a rest sometimes.
Yeah, that's good. And you've mentioned that you like to, eat out, with the family. Is it usual for us to see you in some small restaurants in Melton having, quiet dinner or something?
I've eaten at a few restaurants in Melton. But we move around a bit. We like to eat. We do go to restaurants all over the place.
Okay.
But I have eaten in a number of restaurants in Melton, and I've got to say there is a lot of good fooderies in Melton, a lot of good restaurants, and there's great variety now in Melton, which is terrific to see. But I think that's just an indication of what's happening right across Victoria. And of course, when we're in Parliament, we spend a lot of our time after hours in the city. And there's some fantastic restaurants in Melbourne. The greatest variety of restaurants. It's amazing, and and that's expanding out into the suburbs, and that's what like our city here in Melton, with the different cultural groups and different foods now, different restaurants that are being opened. And for that into the future, you're not going to have to travel into places like the city to go and have different variety of food. So it's great. It's really great. Yeah, I do. I'm a bit partial to food.
But can I just say also that it's so good to be in the city now with people coming back and being busy. It was just so hard to imagine during the COVID time. It was so quiet.
It was hard, but it was hard everywhere. But what other option do you have? Apart from what we did in this state, and I'm pleased to say that we look like we're coming through it. With the help of many workforces, not just our health workforce who have done a fantastic job, but emergency services, the suppliers, the truck drivers, the people that kept the supermarkets going, community groups that supported others, when people were in lockdown was amazing. And as we've all said, it was a 1 in 100 year pandemic. None of us have ever experienced it. We never want to experience it again, and we've learned a lot from it. And in some ways, it's probably helped us do things like even working from home and things like that. It's probably pushed that ahead by 20 years in this state. Now I know, the Melbourne City Council or whoever are saying we need to get people back into the city. Yes, we do, and they are coming back, and the nightlife in the city is enormous. But I think it's a great balance where people can work from home, have more time with their family, not have to travel long distances or in a public transport or in a car for an hour or more travelling to and from work. I just think it's a great balance for people if they can balance both being at work on Sundays and being at home on Sundays. And I think if it works for you in your workplace, then continue to do it. I think it's much better for people.
And also you'll know now who are the associations and the people who really will support you on the toughest times. That's a perfect. You know what I mean?
I think COVID did find that out about where people could rely on support and where they were probably let down or were a bit surprised.
The true faces of COVID.
The true faces of COVID.
Now let's talk about something that both you and Melvin love. Let's talk about sports.
Lovely.
Okay, so what sports do you enjoy?
I'm a sports fanatic. I love all sports. I'd watch all sport.
There's one in Bendigo next week.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, Australia versus Iran.
Oh, is it really? In Bendigo.
Yeah, 29th of October, I suppose.
29th.
What is it?
Of August 29th.
Basketball, soccer?
Basketball, one of the FIBA.
Oh, okay. Well, my background was in Aussie rules football, and basketball. But I love watching all sport. I could sit there all day and watch different sports, and I just love sport and love seeing people play sport. And then when you watch the elite level, it's amazing. And just coming off the back of the Commonwealth Games, I watched most of the Commonwealth Games where I could. And,
we're back in.
And I'm so excited. I'm so excited that we're getting the Commonwealth Games here in Victoria in 2026.
Yes.
It'll be fantastic. And just seeing all those different sports. And but I love the basketball. I love the football. I love the cricket. You name it, I love it all. So I just follow all sports.
Yay! So exciting.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
So who are you barracking for, AFL?
I followed Hawthorn, which is interesting, and that's only come about since the 80s, the 1980s. But my history was with the Western Bulldogs, and my brother played at Richmond, so I sort of have a liking for a number of clubs. But I do follow Hawthorn. I want to see them win, but they're regrowing at the moment, so we'll see how they go over the next couple of seasons.
Fantastic!
Yeah.
That's the lighter side of it.
Yeah. But I say all sports, and I do like horse racing and things like that too. So, I do follow that a bit. And but again, to me, that's sport. And,
yes.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's very enjoyable.
Yes, and I guess it's really. I like the way it is like in Australia that young people are really supported in sports, and girls are really supported in sports. It's just really amazing.
And the pleasing thing is now we're starting to build facilities for young women and females in sport, rather than it was all male dominated.
Yeah.
And I think you'll probably find that female sports are the fastest growing sports in the country, which is fantastic.
I know.
And a lot more exposure, and really there's nothing out of bounds for female sports people now. I think that's terrific.
It's just amazing.
I just hope that at the elite level they can be judged the same and be paid the same and be recognised the same and they put in the same efforts and then they deserve as much as what the male sports people get. So and good luck to them all, and it's been fantastic.
Yes, amazing.
The Filipino soccer team is doing good at the moment.
Yeah.
Philippines women soccer team, they're really doing good. So that's a problem. In the men's sport, we're a bit on the standard, just on the standards. But they're the Filipinas, the women, they're really rising up. Right. So that's true. That's really and especially tennis at the moment. When, I'm at the moment a umpire in Australian Open, and Serena Williams is retiring soon, so I think we're going to look for another icon that will really substitute her, her fan base, fan base. So I don't know with the three. I think Federer is really retired. Nadal is really there, is still there, and Djokovic is still there. I think it's Djokovic and Nadal on the road for the greatest of all time in tennis. Because they're still strong. So especially the US Open, if Nadal will win this, so it's another 22 Grand Slam wins over Djokovic. But Djokovic is still strong. So he might still win. Depends on Australia. Depends on US Open if they wanted Djokovic to still compete because of COVID. So I think I don't know with Australia because they really. If US will not allow Nadal, allow Djokovic, I think Australia will not allow. Because they wanted to have a standard on the same level. Wow. That's very funny.
This is a really well-rounded conversation we're having here this morning.
Well, in basketball, we still have, I think, Australia versus Iran. I'm doing my research. If it's in, I think it's in Red Stadium, the new stadium in Bendigo. So I'm looking at it. I might drive to Bendigo on that day to also meet with our fellow Filipino basketball enthusiasts there. So we have so many friends in Bendigo. Yung mga kaibigan sila Bendigo, sila Roman and Daya. How are you, Roman?
Yes, hi, Roman.
Yeah, so mga kaibigan natin from Bendigo. Again, it's already 9:10 in the evening. We still have 10 minutes to go in the morning. And we're here with, again, Honorable Steve Magee. Very, very interesting topics. And not just the current affairs, not just the simple politics, but also some other personal answering questions. I think it's going to be I thought it's going to be a more community conversation, but I think it's going to be a one of these beauty contest ones. You can just throw in all of the questions. Yeah, again, we're very proud that he is here for the first time with us in Goodbye Philippines. But we're with him. We are with him on some events. Our first involvement was I think it's on 2020 when January,
yes,
when the COVID started.
Yeah.
So, and it's rainy.
It was raining.
So we but it's a very, very good venue for that event because we have so many toilets as well. Yeah. There is a place for the kids, for the rides, for the fairs.
Yeah.
And we have the clinics as well.
Yeah, there were lovely food trucks there too.
Yeah,
You remember? Yeah, it was really good. And of course, fantastic entertainment, right? And then we had all these different groups of women giving us these colorful dances.
Yeah, remember that one?
Yeah, it was really
It was a great day.
It's just like the rain.
Yeah, the rain just came. Oh, well.
All right, Mayara, any more questions?
No, I'm good. I'm just so happy to see you.
Catch up there.
And yes, and then we'll be looking forward to our collaboration and working
very
together.
soon.
No, that would be great. It'll be excellent. I look forward to it.
And thank you for nominating me on that.
No, it's well deserved. And congratulations again. I'm pleased that you've got the governors, Victoria's
Hope you're really
volunteer.
there. Hope you are there.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the 1st of September.
Yeah.
It's a special one.
Oh, excellent.
And,
Excellent.
Thank you for nominating me there.
It's a pleasure, and it's well deserved.
Yeah, thank you.
And hopefully you guys will also follow us doing our stuff. It's not bad. You'll see that you meet great people. You'll meet bad people as well, but it's your choice. It depends on your we call it decision making.
Of your choices on how you're going to deal with them, on how you're going to collaborate with them. But as long as Goodbye Filipinas is here, we always collaborate with good people. We really choose those associations and people, individuals that we really collaborate with because we wanted positive results. We need positive impact to the multicultural community. So we don't want to fail. Oh, we fail sometimes, but it's a learning experience. That's why we have our judgment to carry on and move on. Whatever the emotions, whatever the failures, still life will go on. That's the mentality of Goodbye Filipinas. All right, do we need to end up, Mayora?
Yes, maraming salamat po sa inyo for joining us this morning. And just a reminder, we have a class today, 1 o'clock for the kids and 2 o'clock for the teens, Tagalog Learning Melbourne. Don't forget your class. Alright, I'll see you all next time. Ito na naman po ang inyong Mayora, Red Safra, nagsasabing good vibes po lamang.
Ayan, and also, meron pala akong late information to disseminate. Our Lady Peña Francia is going to have Our Lady's Peña Francia Feast of Honor of Our Ina. 2022 Triduum Masses. It's on 3 Saturdays, so 27th of August, 3 of September, 10th of September as well at 2:30 p.m. On the 27th of August, it's devotees from Sorsogon and Masbate. 3rd of September, devotees from Albay and the Tanduanes. 10th of September, devotees from Camarines Norte and Camarines Sur. And the Fiesta Procession and Mass is on Saturday, 17th September 2022. So it's followed by fellowship with the parish hall sponsors, all devotees of our Ina Berhen Peña Francia, And it's going to be held in Our Lady's Church, Holy Family Parish, 46 Balwet Road, Maidstone, Victoria. Kaya sa kanan po yung mga kasama namin, si Mai, si Bibo, si Papa George, ayan si Mayona, and si Mark, and also our dear guest, Honorable Steve Magee here, our Member of Parliament. Your honor, Papa Melvin, dito lang, sa 97.9 FM Community Radio, Filipino-Australian program.
Good vibes, Pilipinas!
Boom! Goodbye!
Good show.
Thank you.